Welcome, one and all, to a live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
Tim.
We're here tonight. We've got another batch of shit to get through, so let's see how we go. Make sure you get in the comments and say hi as we go along. Tonight we are going to cover off the latest from Alestorm, Porcupine Tree, and Aussie band Burn the Highway. We're going to revisit a classic from Hatebreed as well. We're going to do all this in a very different order than usual tonight too. Going to discuss new singles which have been hotly requested, one being Megadeth, and also Ozzy Osbourne, Devonian, and Fight the Sun, for a couple of Aussie acts in there as well. Going to discuss what gets our attention when it comes to music. We're going to rank or list off our top 5 Megadeth albums as well, and everything else in between. And if you have comments with us, then we'll bring up on screen and then we'll try and interact with you guys as best as we can. Before we get stuck into things, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. To do that, all the details are in the description box for us. So find us on your preferred social media and follow us. Also, hit that like button or subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Spotify. That kind of stuff's always great as well. And if you could do the same thing for our fantastic sponsors, find them, give them a follow, a like, or a share. That'd be greatly appreciated. A big thank you to Squidding, Screen Printing, Alt Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Their details, just like ours, are in the description box. On that note, also in the description area, you're going to find links to all the music we're talking about tonight, be it reference tracks or the singles themselves. So if you're not tuning in live, tuning in later on via video or audio, you're going to find everything you need in those comments or in that description box for everything you need to know right there. So that's what's going on. Got a bit to get through. Got people jumping in already. So Rowan over on YouTube's giving us the horns as always. Good to see you again, buddy. Conrad's here on time. I know he's keen for Megadeth, so we'll get to that very, very soon as well. Good to see you again, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well. Sally as well on Facebook. Good to see you again as well. Same with Darren over on YouTube. Evening all. Good to see you too, buddy. Mark Woodhouse has joined us on Facebook too. Hi all. Good to see you again. And Dean. G'day, lads. Hope as well with you and your families. Great shot, Andrew. Thank you. Very happy with the massive top on tonight. Good to see you again, buddy. Conrad says, might you guys be coming to the Bendy on Saturday for Stalker? I'm out. I'm busy, unfortunately. Either of you guys planning on going to the Bendigo Hotel on Saturday?
No, can't make it.
Maybe.
Maybe? All right. So Tim's a maybe.
Solid maybe.
Solid maybe. All right. Well, Tim, if you go, let us know. We'll get you to film a review afterwards.
All right.
Our good friend Gear over in Norway saying hello. Hello and Skull from Norway, Viking Queen. Have you listened to the new song from us, Fight for Glory? Yes, we have. We did that a couple of weeks back on a stream, so go and check that out for you. And Michael Gow, a good friend of ours as well, has joined us going, hey, all, hope you're all well. Unfortunately, sitting watching with COVID for the first time, and it totally sucks. Man. That's shit. Hopefully you get well soon and it's not hitting you too hard.
Hopefully you're feeling better soon.
Get well soon, man.
Indeed. Get well soon. It's going around again at the moment, isn't it? Like it's been an impact. We'll get to that shortly. Best wishes to TC.
Every sort of 6 to 8 weeks, it feels like it re-enters your circle again.
Yeah, it's one of the things, unfortunately, with the music circuit as well. It's just the way it works. Our own TC is out with it at the moment, so best wishes to him and his family too. His boy has it and he's got it. I'm not sure about the better half yet, but we'll soon find out, I'm sure. But hopefully he's keeping well or getting well in due course. But yeah, it's doing the rounds and it's impacted the gig we're going to plug in a second too. So I guess we'll quickly do that now while we can. Quickly, I'm going to just copy and paste a link in the comments. It's also in the description box, so give it a look. This is the gig tomorrow night, Friday night, July the 1st. It's at Rackham Up in Lilydale. Doors at 8 p.m. The opening act was Eat the Damn Orange, but then one of you guys managed to go and get the spicy cough as well. None of the crew here, but one of you guys actually in the band. So you guys are out, and so it's Torrential Thrill at 10 p.m. and Outlaw at 11 p.m. and they're still looking for a band to, as far as I'm aware, anyway, fill the 9 p.m. opening slot down at Rackham Up in Lilydale. So if you're able to, hit the link, check it out, and if you're a band that's keen to get onto it, then hit up the bands and let it and see if there's still a spot available.
Yeah, so hit up Steve from Torrential Thrill.
There you go. Because that would have been a pretty cool gig. Outlaw making their debut.
Very would have been. Worst case scenario, you can just shoot Paul all night.
Well, that's it. It's not a bad little thing. You've enjoyed playing there. You played there a few times now, haven't you?
We have played there a couple of times now. The stage is actually massive. There's a really good PA there, so you sound fantastic. The room's great. The people who run the place are great. So there's no complaints from us. So very nice place to play.
Well, if you're a band and you're keen, hit them up. Hit up Steve from Torrential Thrill. And otherwise, if you're keen or in the area, go down and check out the band. And then also get to the Bendy on Saturday night to see Stalker. That'll be another cracking gig going on as well if you like your more metal side of things. So there's heaps going on. Just quickly back here, Michael's going, thanks, guys. Got mild symptoms so far, but the coughing has been crazy. I am still gobsmacked. I haven't got it yet, so I'm just sitting there thankful as fuck so far. Chris has joined us on YouTube. Good to see you again, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well. Same with Nicole, another regular over there. Good to see you too. And here we go. Michael's gone, I photographed my first ever music gig at Rack 'em Up Pool Hall. So there you go. Nice little plug for the Rack 'em Up Pool Hall as well. Nice. Yeah, music photography. I mean, yeah, we figured as much when you were talking about that. Alrighty, so what else have we got? I think that's about it. Let's do the rounds quickly.
Just artistic shots of pool tables.
But you know, the close-up shots of sticks and balls. Let's put it that way. Alrighty, David's joined as well. David is going, g'day guys, all the best. Go Aussie there. We're talking about Aussie very, very soon, but let's do the rounds quickly. Dave, how have you been this week?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. I've been off work. I've got a week off. School holidays, so spending some time with the kids. Took the families to the drive-in. We saw the new Minions movie, which is really cool. If you like that type of animated humor. But yeah, it's good to see other ones. I think it's number 5. It's free anyway. Yeah, the 3 Despicable Me's and 2 Minion movies, so it's a big franchise. But they're still quality, still just sitting them out, and the kids love it. I had a burger, so that makes me happy, and some jam donuts. So food's fantastic at the drive-in.
It is good.
Apart from that, I've been working on my car. I had to replace the brake pads and the rotors on the back, metal on metal. So it's been a bit of a task. There was one fucking bolt that just did not want to come out, regardless of how much fucking pushing the ratchet. So I just got the hammer and started hammering the ratchet. It worked. Brute force is all you need, man.
Dave, I swear, every time you do anything like this, all I can think of is Homer and the barbecue. That's all I can think of.
I'm sure my neighbors were watching me when I was fixing the fence because I was hammering my thumb more than the fucking fence.
Wow.
Yeah, got it done. Car's all good. Car's all fixed. Had to go into work today for stock take, so it interrupted the week off. But apart from that, got the weekend coming up. Spend some time with the kids again. All good. How you doing, Tim?
This is a side note. The drive-in is the superior way to watch movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like by far.
I completely agree.
But yeah, doing all right. Just cruising along, really. I was, got more gigs coming up, thankfully. So hopefully, touch wood, no one's got a spicy cough for those.
Yeah.
But, apart from that, I've just been listening to a lot of music and trying to relax a little bit. Knees been a bit dodgy in the cold weather, so, just taking it a bit easy.
Is that healing
Yourself,
up?
Andrew?
Oh, sorry. Is your knee healing up okay? It's
pretty good.
That's the main thing.
It just gets a little stiffer every now and then.
Yeah, that's to be expected. That's what happens. I get arthritis in my hand when I broke my thumb years ago. It fucking irks the shit out of me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's annoying. But no, everything's good at my end. Nothing much to report. It's just same old, busy as fuck. Started to get the Patreon daily updates going through more often again, which is good. Finally, at last, managed to carve out that extra hour in the day somehow to do some stuff there. And actually managed to sit down with Jody last Friday night to watch Top Gun, the original one. And we were going to go to the drive-in on Saturday to go and watch number 2. But Jody was sick all weekend, so we ended up just staying home and having a quiet one. Aside from that, just where I can, because one of our kids is riding to the ice hockey along with me. She's been watching the Avalanche take the Stanley Cup, and so we'll both have a fit of laughter when they dented the Stanley Cup within 5 minutes of winning it on the ice. So that was that was just fantastic. Not often you see
that
the winning.
Seems to happen quite often.
Yeah,
in sports.
It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. But it was there's photos of the moment that it happened, and it's just hilarious. So she and I have been just sharing stuff back and forth during the week about that, which has been fun. But everything's good. Nothing much to add. Just keeping flat out with this stuff, obviously behind the scenes, and the day job is busier than ever. So no rest of the wicked, but it's a good problem to have. So that's the best way to do things. Hopefully, maybe on Saturday, Jody and I might make it out to the drive-in after all, but I don't know. We haven't even really discussed it yet, so it might just be on the back burner permanently, or it might just be something we do randomly. Guess I'll update everyone next week. See what happens. Tony's here. He's gone. Top Gun Maverick was awesome. Good. I've heard really good things about it. That's why we wanted to go and see it. So heard really good things. I do have to do a bit of a somber note here. Lee, our good friend Lee, he's gone having an ordinary fortnight. My mum died last week and wife's been diagnosed with breast cancer. Perhaps it's time the anal rape to complete the trifecta. Fuck, man, that is a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah,
man.
Genuinely, you've got my info. If you need anything or we can do anything to help you out, then please do reach out. Genuinely mean that. Just, yeah, and that sucks. If there's anything we can do, we'll help you out for sure. That's, yeah, not good at all. Hopefully we can, know you're having an ordinary night, or ordinary fortnight, I should say, but hopefully we can give you some sort of entertainment tonight and make it a little bit more, give you something to laugh or smile about at least. Let's get stuck in. That's a shame, yeah. Hopefully things get better for you from here. That's not good at all. All right, let's move on, and we do have to sort of just push on through and try and switch gears. So now we're going to talk about, we did this last week. I don't know if you guys prepared at all for this one, but we'll try it again and see how we go. Well, we talk about the releases that are coming out this week for a brief minute and just see what excites us. So today, actually, speaking of Lee, he brought one to our attention, a French band called Animalize. Their new album, Meat We're Made Of, is out now. They had a clip which I shared. I know it's actually kind of cool. If you like your metal kind of stuff, it's not bad. I checked out the lead singer from it. I forget the name of it now. I can't even pronounce it because it's in French anyway. But that was pretty cool. It was a good find from Lee, actually. So yeah, if you're looking for some French metal, more old school kind of 80s influenced metal, get on that one. Animalize, Meat We're Made Of is what we're talking about. It's already out now. So there's one. But coming out tomorrow, we've got the latest from Acolyte, Melbourne band Acolyte, their Recovery EP, which is an acoustic and string sort of arrangement of a few songs of theirs over the years. That's pretty cool. Looking forward to listening to that one in full. That's out tomorrow. You've also got Boss Colloid with Family, The Smiling Thrush live at Foal Studio. Conjurer with Pathos. Derek Sherinian's got an album coming out called Vortex.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Greg Pucciata has Miracell. Haunt, Have Windows of Your Heart. That's another one that Lee's keen on as well. I know that for a fact. Then you got Holder with the Eternal Fanfare EP. Massacre with Mythos EP. A few EPs tomorrow. Municipal Waste, Electrified Brain. That's sure to be fun. Then you got Necrophobic with Satanic Blasphemies re-release. Then Ren Marabou and the Berserkers with Tales of Ruin. That's one that we've been getting a lot of emails about. That's sort of heavy rock with a definite kind of a Viking kind of a vibe to things. It's actually pretty cool what I've heard of it so far. And then you've also got Saint Azonia with their new EP, Introvert. Fuck, there's a lot of EPs. But yeah, does any of that sort of, what grabs your attention there, Dave, quickly?
Acolyte, definitely. Definitely Acolyte.
Yeah.
And Derek Serenian, I've heard a couple of his solo albums in the past, and they're always pretty cool. So he always has a lot of guest appearances, everyone from Zach Wilde to lots of cool people. So yeah, looking forward to those two.
Cool. What about you, Tim? What got your attention when I was rattling that off?
Well, Acolyte as well, but obviously Municipal Waste.
Yeah.
That's creme de la creme.
Yeah, that was going to go without saying. Yeah, same on both of those ones. I do want to check out more of Animalize and Haunt as well. Acolyte, Derek Sherinian.
Out of all the Kiss albums to name yourself after, it's Animalize.
Yeah, I know. It's don't know why, but hey, they did it. And the video is really, really old school too. Like the video is that's out now is pretty cool. It's a good little. The taste I've had is nice. So Dave, I know you got the list, the song that you go and check out from the Patreon update. So check it out and let me know what you think of that one too. It was pretty fun. But yeah, watch the video. Sorry?
It sounds interesting. I'll give it a go.
Yeah. When you watch the video, put the closed captions on because you're going to need it. It's all in French dialogue, so you want the preamble. It's just something to do with samurai. It's like a French samurai fight with 80s like Terminator 1 kind of thing. It's weird. But anyway.
I want the captions off. It's more fun that way. I can make up my own story.
It's not a complicated story. But anyway, that's out there now. Lee's saying, Animalize album has been my soundtrack today. Great release. Highly recommend. Nice. Cool. So there we go. There's some good feedback on that one so far. What do we got? Conrad says, Derek Sherinian always manages to get great guests. So there we go. There. So there's a bit there going on. Even though it's a smaller list, there's some definite high spots in there. So we'll see how it all goes. Alrighty, into the singles. And I know we're going to just rip the bandit off and get this one done because I know there's a lot of people very keen to share their thoughts on this one. So make sure you give us your thoughts out there on anything we're talking about. Happy to have you guys jump into the comments. But we're going to talk now about the latest from Megadeth, which is a song called We'll Be Back. There's a link in the comments, also in the description box. So go and check it out now. We have a little bit of a chat about this very hyped up song. So this is Megadeth, We'll Be Back. And Tim, what did you think?
So this came out while we were doing the show last week.
It did, yeah.
And I'm assuming it came out to sync up with the because everything comes out at midnight local time on Spotify.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this was released to sync up with Japanese time.
Maybe.
Yeah. So came out about 10 o'clock while we were doing the show, and people were blown away by it. Yeah, and rightly so. This is one of the best Megadeth tracks in years, to be perfectly honest. And when it was over, I was expecting it to just keep going.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
It leaves you wanting more somehow for a relatively longer song. And this is stunningly good for a band, 30 years into their career. So if the album is like this, then it's album of the year. Like frankly, if they got 10 of these lying around, then fucking hell, what an album. But this is a cracker of a song. Like this will be one of the songs of the year without a doubt.
Nice, Dave. You agree?
Yeah, I agree, man. This is brilliant. I mean, you just hear it, it's just like, fuck me, this is Megadeth at full strength. Vintage Megadeth doing what they do best. Not trying to reinvent the wheel, not trying to capture past glories or anything. This is them just where they are now, and it's fucking awesome. About as strong as they've ever been. Song is engaging. The fucking solos are amazing.
Yeah.
I think I haven't even counted how many solos there are in it, but they're all fucking great. Nice little tempo change towards the end. Mustaine sounds great with his vocals. Considering he's had all the issues he's had recently, it sounds great. Band sounds good. And as Tim said, this is an indication of the album. The album's going to be brilliant. So it's September, I think it's out.
Yeah, September 2nd.
Yep. September 2nd. Cool. That's long wait. Hopefully they drop a few more singles in the meantime. But
you're locking that one in the calendar for sure.
Yeah, definitely. For the record, the new album, The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead, it's the band's 16th studio album overall, and this is the first single from it, obviously. The album is due on September 2nd, 2022, for those that are keen to bookmark that date, so that is when it's all coming out. But my first thought on this one is exactly what you guys said. If the album is anything like this, fuck, we're in for a treat this year. It's already been a full-on great year. You think back to what we've already talked about this year, it's been a fucking great year. This will be some nice icing on the cake. The riff is just, and the trademark tones, like all those things, you know who it is. It's Megadeth. As soon as you fucking hear the first note, that opening lick is just brilliant. The riffs are the same, like the vocals, the timing. I love the syncopation this band has too. This has everything that you want from a Megadeth song. And it's funny because Dave mentioned all the tribulations, like between Dave Ellefson and Mustaine's health and all that kind of stuff. You don't feel like there's anything, like there's nothing missing from this. This feels like Megadeth firing on all cylinders, so it's really well done. I think the chorus is great. There's a really good hook. The melody is great in it too, and the solos are, as you expect, fucking fantastic. Why would they not be? This is Megadeth on the attack. No prisoners being taken. This is just vintage from them. This is great. If you like thrash at all, if you haven't checked out much Megadeth, this is a great place to start. But I liked how the end of the song was sort of done with a different time change, how it just sort of settled into a really cool, like what Tim said, he just felt it was going to keep going for a while longer because that just a different groove. It was fucking great. I loved the end of the song. So yeah, really, really well done. Very, very keen to hear more. I'm sure we will, but that was a fantastic lead single. So hopefully the album is much like this. Comments on this one, of course, we do have comments on Megadeth. Mark says, fucking love it, which is going to be a common theme, I would imagine, with our audience here. Darren says, great song, cool video. Can't wait for the album. The video is very well done as well. Got to give credit to that. Conrad says, it kicks ass. Sounds a bit like Black Friday. Love it. The drums, the guitar, the vocals all sound brilliant. So there we go. And Man Family over on YouTube, join us. Good to see you again as well. Go on, great tune there. Craig, good to see you. It's been a long time coming. So there we go. It has been as well. And Chris also says, loving the new Megadeth. So we are getting a lot of feedback on this one. Okay, Darren's got some goss for us here. There will be a couple more singles because the video clips are supposed to sync up. Nice.
Ooh,
Cool.
That's a cool thing. Thanks for that. I was not aware of that. Awesome. That's good to know because that'll make the process a lot more engaging, if that makes sense. Alrighty. From one icon to another, we're going to move on to the latest from Ozzy Osbourne. So this is a track featuring Jeff Beck on guitar. This is Ozzy Osbourne with Patient Number 9, which is actually the title of the album coming out as well, which is due on September 9. So a week after Megadeth, we get new Ozzy Osbourne, and that is due September 9, 2022. The song is Patient Number 9. The album is called the same thing. This is the first new music from Ozzy Osbourne since the 2020 album Ordinary Man. And like I was saying before, this does feature some guitar work from Jeff Beck. What do we got here? So let's go to you, Dave. I know you were keen on this one.
Yeah, this is cool. I really like this. I liked Ordinary Man album. I know some people thought it was average, but I thought that was pretty cool considering his age and everything. But yeah, this is cool as well. I like that he's got a guest on this because he had Elton John and some fucking rapper in the last one. But yeah, the Elton John song is cool. Jeff Beck is cool. I've seen Jeff Beck in concert. He's a fucking great guitar player, so it's good to have him with Ozzy. It's a cool idea having the theme of a patient stuck in the hospital because we all know his health problems, but he's always been the madman. He's always had the mental health issues. Yeah. So it's cool bringing like life and art and drama and everything together. It's a good.
Did you get a feel like it's a bit of a follow up to Diary of a Madman in a way?
Yeah, it's kind of a career retrospect in a way as well. It's kind of if this is the one he ends on, it could be a good album. I think. Yeah, I don't find the end, man. It's sad that Ozzy's coming to this, but if he's still with us, he can still dish out music. Even if he can't tour, it's just good to have whatever he can get done. Yeah, but yeah, this is a cool track. I really liked it.
Nice. How about you, Tim? You agree?
Yeah, I also an Ordinary Man fan.
Yep.
You know what it feels like? It feels like visiting an old relative in a nursing home, and you know they got like 6 months left.
Yeah, that's actually kind of fitting.
And like, I was listening to this today, and I actually really like the song. I think the song's very good. Like, especially considering, his voice and whatnot. I thought, great catchy chorus, nice riffs, whatever, but. And it was the same thing with Ordinary Man, though, where it was like the songs come out, and it's just like, how long until he loses his voice? And how long until he can't sing anymore? And how long until, he's gone? And it's very, I don't know. It's hard for me to separate the two.
Yeah, it is.
Because I think, Ozzy's one of those dudes where, like, for a lot of us, he's one of the first guys you listen to.
Yeah.
It's required.
So I enjoyed the track, but it also, when these things happen and the Ozzy releases new music, I kind of feel like it's enjoy it while you can, because you don't know how much longer we've got left.
No, completely. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it was the same way when Lemmy went out. He was still touring weeks before.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Lemmy was still touring weeks before, whereas Ozzy cancelled. Like Black Sabbath were headlining Download in Australia. What? 4.5 years ago now, that got cancelled.
Yep.
And he's just been slowly on the downhill since.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think, fingers crossed it's not anytime soon. And for now, I'm looking forward to the album because this is a bit of a slower track, but it did sort of put me in mind of the older song Diary of a Madman. It just sort of felt like it flowed on from that one, or they sort of fit together. And we're getting a bit of that. It happened on Ordinary Man as well. You're getting a bit of that sort of retrospective feel with a few of these, or a lot of these songs now, which I think it's a nice way to sort of, if we are talking in the darker terms and getting toward the end of things, I'm glad we're getting a bit of that, and he's not just going out trying to, recreate the youth kind of thing. I'd rather they, incorporate the world and what's happening and their personal sort of space on things. And best wishes to him too, recovering from surgery as well, which is pretty major after the accident he had a few years ago. I mean, what a life to have lived, if nothing else. I mean, fuck me. But this song, like, I like the story. The lyrics are fantastic on this one. There's a brooding kind of intensity between the story and the music. And there's a great hook in the chorus. It's one of those ones that gets stuck in your head straight away. It's just got that. And the delivery from Ozzy is good too. I know there's a bit of a tweak here and there, but fuck, it still sounds bloody good from Ozzy too. The Jeff Beck stuff, the solo is nice on this one as well. That's a nice payoff kind of moment in the song. And, the veterans, despite we're talking about all the doom and gloom, that the veterans keep turning out some great fucking tunes. And this is no exception. We've got Megadeth earlier, now we've got this one here. This is a great fucking song. If the album, is this or anything near sort of Ordinary Man, for me, it's going to be another stellar release for this year. We're going to be really loaded up. Like, September's looking awesome already on just these two alone. Ozzy's getting
a Lamb of God as well.
Yeah, that's true. Forgot about that one too. Fuck me. I don't know. This is a great song. Another good, solid, thing to add to his lengthy and extensive collection of music, which is fantastic. But the acoustic touch near the end was a nice little sort of way to wind up the song. I thought that was a good little moment on the end there. So, yeah, definitely happy with it and looking forward to hearing the album. And hopefully there's a bit more to come yet, but it's out of our hands. We'll just sort of see how things pan out, as it were. Got some comments coming on here. Okay, cool. Back to Megadeth for a second. Nicole's going, Megadeth sound like Megadeth. That's very true. Ben's joined us saying, hey, guys, good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you keep well over there. He's also said, love the backdrop, Dave. So there we go. Get some love for Dave's set, which is nice. Okay, back on Megadeth again. Yes, there are 2 more videos related that will be back that continue to tell a story. It's a trilogy. Nicely done there too. All righty, over to Ozzy. Darren has said, Ozzy getting back to being Ozzy with Jeff Beck. Awesome. Jeff's here saying, hi, lad. Sorry, I'm late. Better late than never. Hey, whenever you can turn up is whenever you can turn up. It's always good. He's also an Ozzy fan. He likes the new song. Certainly not his best work. Looking forward to the album. I was not a fan of Ordinary Man. Other than the title track, the rest of it was completely forgettable. Jesus. Here we go. The next comment is this. Rowan says that his reviews sound like a eulogy. Not quite. It's just that it's hard not to at certain points in time. But Sally says, glad to hear from Ozzy. I like the song, but I feel him fading, so it's sort of a bummer listening to it. Listen to it remind me of hearing Freddie sing when he wasn't at his best. That said, I do love Made in Heaven. I do love that album. I know it gets overlooked. Yeah. I reckon it's a really, really good album. But anyway, Vinny says, for mine, good to see you, buddy. Vinny says, for mine, it's a bit more of the same. Good enough. You know what to expect. As a lifelong Ozzy fan, not sure there's enough longevity there. Hopefully his album has a few more bangers to lift higher than the brooding tone. So there we go. Mixed feedback, but we'll see how things go. We'll find out.
The dude's got Parkinson's. It's can't break.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some limitations, I guess.
The guy is just doing what he wants for the end of his life, basically.
And you know what? More power to him, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm sure Ozzy doesn't give 2 shits what anyone thinks of these the last couple of
honestly, nor should he. Like, who fucking cares?
He's just doing what he wants to enjoy the rest of his life.
Well put. Completely agree. Let's get on to one that does move a bit harder than this one. Let's go to the latest from Aussie band Devonian. In the comments in the description box, the band is Devonian. The song is Apostasy. So a bit of an interesting one here to check out. This is the first single from this band after a little break. On the song, this is, I think, what the vocalist has written, the letter. She's gone, this song is a letter to an old friend from a time when everything was possible and dreams were big. Except life happens and changes us, and our young true self is lost over the years. But it's still there somewhere. If we have the courage to renounce our false gods and apostates of what society wants us to believe in, after all we need lies within. So that's a quote to do with this song.
That's some really heavy shit, man.
Yep,
that's straight out of a black metal press release.
Yeah, kind of true there. But right on that note, Tim, how'd you go with this one?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Now, the first listen I had, I didn't like it. A couple more listens, I started to get a little bit more. Now, what I did like about it, the dude screaming sounds like Killjoy from Necrophagia. I love Necrophagia, so that was a big up for me. But what they've done is they've got that dirtier side and then the clean side with the operatic, singing and all that stuff. And they've tried to match it up with the music and have this kind of trade-off between the two, and the evil side and the good side, and, blending them together and trading them off between the two. But it feels like, for me, it just felt a little bit disjointed. And at times it just felt like, like trying to get your shit in rather than trying to make everything flow. And I don't know, it's not too sure that it worked yet. Now, again, the more I listen to it, the more I can start to see it. So that could just be me as well. But yeah, wasn't totally sold on it today.
Okay. Interesting. All right. How about you, Dave? What do you think?
Yeah. I get what Tim's talking about. I was trying to pick what genre exactly this is, because there are elements of death, there's elements of symphonic, there's elements of just really extreme metal, then there's some rock elements. It's all in there. It's very complex. There's a lot of dynamics. So if you like really complex music, you'll probably like this. The vocals are done really well. There is the harsh, but the harsh is coherent, and then it's contrasted with the clean. And it shifts, as Tim mentioned, it's kind of shifts, but not when you expect it to shift, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all just in one melting pot. And if you listen to this in the album, or a lot of times, you'll get the mood and you'll probably understand it better. But if you just listen to it with a group of other songs, you'll be like, whoa, this is really different. But different's cool. So if you give it a few spins and warm up to it and understand what they're doing, you'll probably get something out of it, especially if you like your metal on the heavier side. But the guitar solo was cool too, because I was expecting it to really shred. It's actually really melodic, and it builds up, and then it shreds in the middle, and then it comes down a bit with some melodic phrasing, and it's not the kind of solo you would expect from a song like this. So once again, it went against my expectations. But I suppose that's kind of cool, because you get so expecting what will come next, and it's just like, okay, they're doing something different. So overall, it's a cool track. I don't know if it's to what I would usually listen to, but it's interesting. So when I'll check out more from this band, because I'm undecided too, because it's well done. I'm not keyed to this type of music.
Okay,
does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it. It's interesting because I've been aware of this band for a while. We did a thing years ago now, actually, where we had the band sort of video themselves introducing their own song and sending it in. We did that one years ago, and that's when I first became aware of this band, because the vocalist Diletta sent in a little video, and off you go. So I've been sort of paying attention since then. They had an EP, Witchcraft, in 2020, and that was pretty cool. So for me, having more of a background with these guys, I got a different vibe to you guys, because for me, it feels like the band are taking a step forward with what they've done here. I do get the feeling you're talking about, but at the same time, because I've had more history with them, maybe I just know what to expect a bit more, and so it doesn't catch me off guard or anything like that at all. I think they've done a really good job with this one. It's funny, the Diletta on the vocals does all the singing and the harsh stuff too, so she's fantastic. I think she does a really good job with the delivery in both styles there. And I think that, if you listen to their previous stuff and then you get a hold of this song, I think it makes perfect sense with what they're doing for me. It's more rounded off kind of thing than what they were doing before. I think it still presents everything that this band do and what they do well into one little track. I thought that it's funny that you guys have sort of made the point, not in the same way that I do, that they stand out. They're not quite like anything else. They do their own thing, and it's pretty cool how they have managed to do that and carve out a little niche for themselves. I thought the lyrics and the storytelling were good on this one. It's funny that little, that press release moment sort of does fit into the vibe of the story being told here too, which is cool. And I like the groove and the feel. That the tempo changes a bit going on in that regard, but I like the overall groove, the feel, the tempo of it. There's some nice darkness in this track, and there's some really cool solos in this one too. I thought some of the lead guitar work was nice. I thought it's a well-written song. It's probably one of the better ones, or one of the best ones I've probably heard from this band, to be honest. If you like it heavy, but there's still that melody, the hook that goes into the clean vocals is really well done. I'm keen for more, honestly, personally, for me. So I thought that the little touch at the very end of the song with the harmonies, that was a really nice way to sort of start wrapping things up there. So that was I liked it. It's a bit different, but I really did enjoy it. So different opinions there on that, which is cool. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So there we go. Would like to hear what you guys like. We're never going to get around to it, but if you guys get a chance to spin the Witchcraft EP and then go back to this song, I'll be curious to see how that sort of changed your perspective on this one as well. But yeah, I didn't mind the EP. It was pretty cool. But that's why I feel like this one feels like the next step for the band after listening to the EP. But up to you guys whether you want to take the time to go and do that.
Insane that she does both vocals. That's awesome.
Yeah. She does both vocals, which is phenomenal.
They sound nothing alike.
Yeah, I know. She does a really good job. It's really impressive.
Even like phrasing in that feels different. Like I said, I thought it was very killjoy.
Yeah.
But, that's awesome.
Cool. Alrighty, we got some comments to go through as always. What do we got here? So Jeff's gone back to Ozzy for a second. Would like to see him finally get that elusive #1 album. He's done everything else. That's true. When it comes to Ozzy, that is very, very true. What do we got? Here we go. Darren on Devonian says, this is cool. I like the clean and harsh vocals. There we go. Getting some love for it there. So let us know what you think out there, folks. Get onto it and check it out. While we move on to the latest from Melbourne band Fight The Sun. This is a band we are no strangers to any of us here. We've covered these guys for early this year. The band is Fight The Sun. The song is called Carnival. That's the new one now. This is the latest thing from Melbourne band. We covered Friends Are Enemies earlier this year, and the band sent this one in directly to us. Same with Devonian, actually. So thanks to both bands for making sure we got these ones via the inbox. Thank you both for sending them in. And like I said, we're no strangers to this band. Hopefully people out there aren't as well. But Dave, how'd you go with Fight The Sun?
Yeah, this is cool. Right from the start, it's like, yeah, this is a cracking track. And you got cool intro, and then you got some stop-start music vocal delivery. Like, okay, that just draws your attention. There's some funky riffs in there too. Just everything just flows nicely from section to section. There's a little quieter section in the middle with some really good note choices in there. It gives a bit of a dark mood, and the whoa, 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 and the background vocals all the way through the track kind of help with that. Lyrics are really interesting too, and there's a lot of groove to it. So I reckon this would be an interesting song to hear live. It's be a lot of fun, I reckon. But yeah, I want to hear more from this band. Everything I've heard from them is good.
Yeah, that's true. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, there's lots to like about this. Fat grooves, nice melodies, catchy riffs. Like Dave said, the right note choices when they wouldn't know what needed.
Yep.
You know, like what's not to like really? It's a great heavy rock song.
Yep. It is. And for me, this band kept going from strength to strength for mine. This one has great groove and feel, which has been covered here. I like the space and how the drums and the bottom end kind of get to drive this song a bit more. There's some nice vocal harmony work on this one as well. I've got a great mix. I mean, for the style of music, for how bottom heavy it is, the way they've used the vocal sort of lighten things off is really well done. And there's just clarity across this song from top to bottom. It's gritty, it's punchy, it's well balanced. But there's a fantastic hook in the chorus. Like you mentioned those walls, Dave. Like hearing that live would be a lot of fun with this song. It'd be great in the live setting. And I liked how in the middle or sort of second third of the song had this one where it really spaced out and you get all this almost Rammstein kind of effect with that little sort of synth touch in there, which opens up. That was a really nice way to build things up to the final act of the song. It was really well done. If you like heavy rock at all, I mean, this is a band you should be already over. The EP they had a couple of years ago was absolutely fucking cracking as well. I believe it was self-titled from memory. But yeah, this band are always doing good things. I don't know. I just liked how heavy on the syncopation this particular track is compared to the last one as well. They're two very different tracks, these two singles. And this one, very heavily syncopated, and I really like the drive of it all. Another cracking song from these guys. They don't do anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. So if you're not already over Fight The Sun, then you really, really should be if you're following us, because they are a fucking great band. Everything they do is gold, and this is just more to add to that collection as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, all in all, 3 out of 3, not bad at all. All right, going back to Devonian for a second. Vinny's gone, in this current climate of political correctness, girl power. What else? You featured a few bands with female vocals in recent weeks. My older ears are totally keeping up. It's actually not intentional. It's just that there's that many going on now that it's actually really cool. Not putting that much thought. I do try and keep some balance in mind, but at the same time, I haven't had to work at it at all. It's just been completely natural. It's just flowing that way. So it is, very, very cool to have that sort of happening at the moment, which I really do enjoy. Back on to Devonian here for a second again. Jeff has gone, Devonian was pretty good. For some reason, it reminded me of After Forever, which isn't a bad thing at all. More nice words there for that one. And then on to Fight the Sun. Lee's gone, love the Fight the Sun track, bit of ear candy. That is a very cool way to put it as well. And Andrew, good to see you, buddy. He's going, big fan of Fight the Sun. Love this one. Need to get a gig and photograph them. Apparently, I can't say shoot. Okay. I don't know. Radio. Let's not do that.
I need to get to a gig and shoot them.
Yeah. All you do is fucking Facebook saying if you put that word down, you'll be fucked. I don't know. But anyway, Darren has also said, we'll have to check out more from them. Really good. There's a couple of other singles, and then there's the EP as well. So go and check it out. There's plenty there to go and check out, Darren. Yeah, I did. Sally's gone, did you put a link up for this? Yeah, I did. It's there. I scroll back. I'll put it in again. Should just copy paste just for those that might have missed it. But it is in the comments again now, but it's also in the description box. It should be up in the description box. I'm going to quickly scroll back up and make sure I put it up there. Yes, I did. It's in the description box as well, so I don't know what's happening. Sorry, Sally. But yeah, it's there again. But also, Michael has said, Fight the Sun, a great live, seen them a few times. They are fantastic. We had them one of our Whole Lot of Love gigs, and they were brilliant at that time as well. So that was really, really cool. All righty. Let's get to today's hot topic, which is actually Dave's idea. Dave sent this one in and gone, okay, well, this will be an interesting conversation topic. So I'm going to get you to start it off in a second. But the question is very, very simply, what draws you to a song? Is it music or lyrics or both? And Dave, seeing as it was your topic, off you go.
Okay. The idea from this kind of stems from recent weeks where I've been talking about harsh vocals and how it kind of puts me off some music that I actually like. So, but it got me thinking, what do I like about music and what have I liked about it in the last 30 odd years of listening to rock to metal? And I think it's both. It has to be both for me in most cases because as I got older, I got into musical wankery like bands like Dream Theater, but they also have interesting lyrics, interesting stories. So, and then on the other hand, there's Rush that have fantastic music. I just can't stand the fucking vocalist, and songs about trees don't really do it for me. So, well, Rush are fantastic musicians. I could listen to that if the singer shut the fuck up. I know, pissed off more people as like I did last week. But it kind of has to be
on that on the YouTube of it, mate. Someone's gone worst take ever from you. I forget the comment. Yeah, someone said that was a shit take last week. So you're going 2 for 2 now.
Sweet. But yeah, it has to be a catchy song. It has to have good musicianship, but also has to have an engaging story, or just simple AC/DC fun lyrics to sing along with. Big balls, or she's got the jack, or something you can like scream along at a concert. But then, I also love Wednesday 13, and musically, it's pretty straightforward, straight up, simple stuff. But the fucking lyrics are entertaining as hell. But the music's still cool of that. So, there are some exceptions, like not really into the satanic shit. A lot of that when the band's outwardly trying to be evil just makes me laugh. But then you got Opeth that go for the really evil lyrics, but they do it in more of a prog rock style where they're telling a story. Yeah. So it's engaging in that way, and the fucking Opeth's music's impressive as hell. But it's something I'm going to be thinking about for a long time, I think, because there's a lot of different bands where I'm just like, well, lyrics don't really...
It's easy to contradict yourself.
I know, it does sometimes, because I'm like, I like this band, but those lyrics are kind of silly or average. They don't really do much. But on the other hand, there's bands I like the lyrics, and the music isn't all that flash. So I'm a living contradiction, but thought it'd be interesting to bring up the topic. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah,
I think two things. First of all, I think as a society, in general, particularly in rock music, I think we underestimate music that's fun.
Yeah, true.
And we perceive nice grooves and a catchy riff as quote unquote easy, and therefore doesn't have the same artistic merit as something that's harder.
Yeah.
Whereas in actual fact, if it gives you the same enjoyment, then what's the difference?
It's about making you feel something. Yeah.
Exactly. And because I was thinking about this last year, because ironically, because there's the same week Mastodon released Hushkin Grim, Limp Bizkit was least still sucks.
Yes.
and it was, I loved both albums.
Yeah, that's a good
But
point.
side by side, they could not be more opposite.
Yeah, I know.
And that's what got me thinking about it. Was because I remember thinking like, well, I like them both, but obviously one's better than the other. But then I'm thinking, why? If I like them both, I like them both. Who gives a shit after that?
Yeah.
The second thing is, I think people, and particularly if you learn to play an instrument, you tend to think in terms of that instrument.
Yeah.
For example, like guitarists generally think note-wise, and drummers will think groove-wise. And I think there are a lot of guitar players who think, I like this song, but I don't know why. It seems basic. That's because the drummer's swinging their ass off and they don't quite get what's going on. And I think that's got something to do with it as well. So for me, the answer is always music. I don't give two shits about the lyrics.
I think Dave's sitting there going, I can tell by the music you listen to, but anyway.
well, not just that too. Like, we're going to, spoiler alert, but this is not a spoiler. We're going to review an album later with stupid as fuck lyrics. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? So you can
have
that's what I mean.
and
you can put up with stupid lyrics depending on if the music is there. If the music is there, who gives a shit?
We all like Steel Panther.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's 200%. And the other problem that I've got with lyrics is lyrics are relevant to your time and your place. So something that hits you when you're 14 is not going to hit you when you're 40.
Yep, that's true.
You know,
and life changes.
Exactly. So as it is. But yeah, I think don't never underestimate things that are fun. Just because it's fun doesn't mean it's not artistically worth nothing.
Yeah. See, I can't really put it into terms of is it music or lyrics or both kind of thing. I feel like it's a good question, but for me, it's funny because Tim's made me think about this differently even in the last couple of minutes while just sitting here. And that is when you start thinking, in my musical journey through life, I started off on classical music, which meant dealing with, all the great composers like Mozart, Bach, and Beethoven, and all the other stuff. And then from there, I went and did percussion for a couple of years and did some keyboard as well. So I started off singing. Then I went and taught guitar. And then I did audio engineering. So all these little things are gateways for me. And it all comes down to if I'm listening to something, do I feel something? Now, with the amount of music we listen to, or that I listen to anyway, it's easy to sort of gloss over things. If it actually strikes a chord and makes you really feel like we all talk about Alien Weaponry, especially the 2 album, and that how it all made us feel something really, really special, but none of us can understand a fucking lyric. And that to me is what draws me into a song. And that can be something as simple as production, the way the tones and the space are set up can make me feel something because it can be a soundscape. You can be drawn to an instrumental music, but I can also be drawn to almost pure poetry because from my father, I enjoy a lot of poetry from the greats to, just Aussie backyard stuff. Like I love poetry and I love storytelling. So there's no hard and fast answer for this, which is I feel like it's a massive cop out to say that, but for me, it's about what it makes me feel. If it's lyrics or if it could be fun, it can be serious, it can be emotive, it can be cathartic, all those sorts of things. If it's lyrics, if it's sounds, if it's the music, it doesn't matter to me as long as I feel something when I'm listening to it. That's what gets my attention. If it gets the goosebumps going, like we'll never stop talking about it, but there are certain albums like Ghost makes me feel things, Pretty Reckless, last album in particular, made me really feel a lot of things. Same thing with Mastodon. We did that Mastodon discography, the 3 of us, and that was fucking phenomenal, just the things that band can make you feel as well. So that's what drags me and keeps me locked onto a band or into a song at least, kind of thing. If it makes me feel something, if it doesn't matter what the emotion is, it can be happy, sad, anger, fucking whatever. As long as I'm feeling something, that's what is my anchor point to a song. as much as it's not defined in the question, that's my answer to it, if that makes sense.
There's a flip side to that which is something that's shit is quite often better than something that's average.
Yeah, that's true. Because
something that's average is very forgettable. Something that's shit, if it's shit enough, will be talked about forever.
Well, yeah, we still talk about that. That
biscuit.
No.
My obvious, the thing that I go to is in my mind is Saint Anger versus Reload.
Yeah. Saint
Anger gets brought up every day, everywhere.
Yep.
Reload's a much better album, but it's also not great. So it's just kind of
songs, but this is a different debate. But yeah, no, it's true though, because the worse something is, the more you'll talk about it. That's a very true statement. The worse something is, definitely the more you will sit there and because you want to
make jokes about stupid shit.
And that's what we do. We turn everything into a joke.
That's how you cope with life, man.
Yeah,
we do it.
Yep. So
it's funny because there are some bands I listen to, they're fucking worlds apart. I'm just like, I like Dream Theater, I like Wednesday 13. What the fuck?
That's why I put it down.
So what?
Yeah, it's weird, but I spent most of my teens going, fuck, I hate electronic music. It's so shit. White Zombie and Rob Zombie are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I want to know how you go with one particular song on an album coming up as well. That's going to be interesting. We'll get there, but yeah, no, that's an interesting conversation though. It is a really interesting conversation. What draws you to music? Let us know in the comments. We got a lot of comments on this one. I think I'm going to scroll down a little bit here, which is cool.
To be honest though, I will listen to a song that has a great snare drum sound.
So it makes sense. This is why if it's a note choice, I'll get into it. But also production can be a gateway for me because I studied it and I really enjoy the technical detail of it. I love sitting down and going, okay, how hard is this panned? What reverb? I just do that. And that can sometimes drag me into a song. It's different for every. There's a gateway to most things. It's just what actually hooks you in the end. And for me, it's the emotive context. But we'll see. Back onto Sorry?
It can change from whatever mood I'm in too. It can change from day to day or hour to hour. Whatever else is going on in your life, you'll find some music to deal with it.
And that's the thing too. What mood you're in when you listen to music. That's why I'm careful at the mood, my state of mind when I review an album, when I write down my notes, because you want to be as neutral as you can be to it, kind of thing. You don't want to be too up or too down. You got to be mindful of your actual emotive state when you're listening to music and how it's, because that does color your feeling toward it in the end as well. Lee, when Dave was talking, Lee says, hopefully Geddy Lee isn't tuning in. I don't think he is, but if he is, hey, cool, I'll take it.
I'm sure he knows all about me, just like Michael Sweet knows all about me.
God, let's not go there. All right, Andrew says, often drawn to complex and or fast drum beats, but also driving bass and cool guitar and interesting lyrics, but also simple catchy stuff sometimes. So we're going to get different answers to this question, which is cool. Here we go. Jeff says, Dave misses the point about Rush. It's not about trees. It's a brilliant political statement about our racial world. I mentioned today before, please listen to the song Guardian of Clockwork Angel. So there we go, Dave. There's some homework for you.
No, I'm not doing my homework. My dog ate it.
Michael says, shared a link to the gallery from a gig which Fight the Sun played with Captives and Manic and Death Squad into the lounge. Cool, nice. Go and check out our Facebook group, the THRS Lounge. There's a link in the description box for all this stuff. Michael regularly shares things, which I absolutely love you doing it. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
By the way, Michael,
yep.
How much a top bloke's are 87?
All right, well, let us know. I can't answer that for him. Vinny says, it's the music for me, then the lyrics. If I become a devoted fan, it shifts the balance of both. Def Leppard can only sing about so many heartbreaks if the composition isn't up to scratch. There's a good point there too.
Yeah.
Rowan says,
the same theme just does it for me. Just fuck
quite often there's lyrics that I've got no idea what they're about.
Yeah.
Like I like Cannibal Corpse. I've never dug up a corpse.
Well, here's Dave and I worrying about songs like "Living Dead Girl." You know, it's very hard to relate to those kind of experiences personally. But
oh man, the other night I was driving home and Death in Fire by Amon Amarth came on the shuffle.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's like to die as a Viking warrior, but I'll tell you, man, I was singing along died for honor and glory, Death in Fire. It's brilliant.
Made you want to run through walls.
Oh man, maybe want to get on a longboat and rape and pillage a town. but if the lyrics were ridiculous, but it doesn't matter what the lyrics are. It's the melody. It's the delivery. It's the vibe of the thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Let's get onto the castle here for a second. So there we go. Rowan says, I mentioned it last time, but I don't pay attention to lyrics at all. The singer is just another instrument to my ears. Outside of Operation Mindcrime, I probably only ever looked up the lyrics to 2 songs. There we go. There we go. But here we go. On the flip side here, Conrad says, if the lyrics offend me, I would choose to avoid listening to or supporting that band. And that's just as equal a point of view as well. So, you know, people can, this is the thing. It's all so subjective, which is really interesting. Go back a bit further. Sorry. Vinny says, you're the voice by John Farnham. Still hits 30 years later. Hey, that's true. Still relevant. That's not lost any of its touch in times going through, which is well done. Here we go. Mal, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Steel Panther, best music with lyrics I can't stand. So I have none of that stuff in my house. And that's a common complaint. The music is great, but the lyrics are fucking naff. But I
think the key is with that stuff too is you got to be able to separate it.
Yeah, and I think also it depends greatly upon when a band like that, it depends upon your own personal sense of humor.
It does.
Yeah.
But okay, so what I mean is right. Okay. Let's say all of a sudden someone in Steel Panther has, something happen.
Mm.
All of a sudden, those lyrics take on a different meaning.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It all depends on, what you're seeing and what you're
context. The context.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one. That is important because how many times have our point of view on certain songs changed after certain things come out 20 years after the fact? It does. It's an interesting that's an interesting conundrum. Darren says it's all about how it makes you feel. It's the music first, then the lyrics. So there we go there with Darren. Michael says, thinking of Ghosts, check out Sleep Token from the UK. They're another band that all wear masks, and it's all about worshipping as well. They recently toured with Northlane here. I think you shared a link with that in the lounge recently too, if I remember. So I'll have to go and check it. I haven't had a chance to spin that one yet. I'll have to go and look it up. Lee says, first catch is usually the music. In regard to the lyrics, I'm 45 and still get a chuckle over non-PC puerile lyrics. Why Alestorm's Cannonball is now my ringtone. There we go. Yes. Spoiler alert, that song is fucking fantastic. It's so stupid. It's fucking brilliant. What else? Rowan says, I've often wondered what the common theme is between music I like. I don't think there is anything, but the complete set of music that I like reflects the shape of that my brain likes music to be. It is such a subjective thing. It really, really is. That's why it's such an interesting conversation, because you're going to get 100 different answers with 100 different people. Conrad says, perhaps some songs connect with people on a subconscious level of which they are unaware as into why they might like it. That's true as well. We haven't even considered that from a psychological point of view, what your subconscious is making of certain songs and how it impacts things. I mean, my 3 kids... Sorry?
There you go. You go. You finish. I'll go.
No, I was just going to say, my 3 kids, they are all drawn entirely to different things, and psychologically, they're all very different kids to each other, which is, it's an interesting little thing there too. Even though they've had a similar life experience growing up, they're all very diverse. What were you going to say?
My 2 kids are the same way. They're just different. They've got their different interests. But I was going to mention the goosebump factor. Not everyone gets it. There's something wired, something different in your brain that causes the reaction from music or something dramatic in a film or something to actually cause that goosebump factor.
Yeah.
But there's only, it's like about half and half of people I know. Some people get it, some people don't. So I don't know what, we're just freaks in the head.
Yeah. True. What were we going to say, Tim?
going to say, it's interesting that you guys say that about your kids. I don't know kids, right? But my sisters have very similar music taste to me.
Yeah.
All three, like, there's some variation here and there, obviously.
Yeah.
But all of us are in that same alternative wheelhouse.
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, it's me and my siblings.
My kids started bickering over their songs because Jade likes Shawn Michaels' theme music, so she'll blast "Sexy Boy," and Rory's like, "I hate it." Whereas I don't know where Rory got it from, but he likes this fucking K-pop band. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I don't deserve this shit.
Which one?
He's like, I hate it.
Yeah, no, there are some things.
They're both like Lagerstein or something, but then they're worlds apart in other things.
There are bands that we can all connect on in my family, with wife and kids kind of side of things, like, you know, bands like 6 a.m, for example. But there are bands that I'm the only one that likes it, like Alestorm. Like, no one else in my family can stand it. They all sit there. As soon as I put anything pirate metal on, they're all fucking out of the room.
What about other forms of folk metal?
I don't know. Zach, yeah, to a point. The more instrumental it is, the more it gets into it.
But that's what I wonder. Is it specifically the pirate thing? Like, if you put on Corpaclani or Fintroll, what do people think?
Yeah, I don't know, but Zach, for example, is drawn to more, like, for example, I gave him Nuclear Power Trio and he loved that. He likes more instrumental kind of stuff. He doesn't like vocals really at all. He likes more instrumental kind of things. Whereas Tori, it's, I think, probably more about the lyrics for her, and the storytelling, and then Jade is sort of somewhere in the middle. Jody's more like Jade in the middle as well. It's different for everyone. But between my siblings, my brother and I are very alike in music, but my sisters compared to me and my brother are very different to each other as well. So it's interesting how, and it was a thing where we started off sort of in the same area and then sort of got more and more divergent over the years. Between my brother and I are the same, but my sisters have gone off onto their own thing. So it's like the boys versus the girls when it comes to the siblings in my family growing up, which is a different one again too. So it's really individual psychology and music. I reckon someone should do a fucking thesis on that. Like, there'd be heaps to dig into in that regard.
Thinking back to when they were young, Rory used to get this before he had Spotify, when he had to rely on CDs. He'd get the booklets out when he was little and follow along with Queen songs. He'd be studying the lyrics. Whereas Jade, I think Jade's more focused on music. He'll pick up lyrics occasionally, but I think she's more music oriented.
See, I did it all, and I learned music better by ear than by paper. So it's different for everyone.
I'm the opposite with that.
Yeah, no, I theory drives me nuts. Just give it to me and I'll work it out. Like, that's where I'm at with music theory. But it's different. Mark said, sorry, back to Fight the Sun for a second. Fight the Sun are excellent. Seen them at the Enigma Bar. Awesome. Been cranking their CD in the car, and it's awesome. Nicely done there. Michael missed your question, Tim. So he said the audio broke up. What was your question for Michael?
No, just a general comment about how awesome are Area 7 and how much they're top blokes.
Yes. So Area 7, Michael.
Cool band. Oh, nobody loves the Bogan.
Geez, we're getting more on this. So Jeff's gone, lyrics can be the gateway, but so can melody and harmony and rhythm. There is no right or wrong except Dave's opinion regarding Geddy Lee. So there we go. Nicely played. Tony says, most songs I have to listen to more than once. The more I listen to a song, the more the song seems to grow on me. That's a pretty common thing too, I would say.
Geddy Lee kind of looks like Ozzy Osbourne doing the cosplay of Liam Gallagher.
Oh man, I don't think. I don't think Jeff's gonna like you much, but all right, we'll go with that.
Well, his balls won't drop then, that's for sure.
Oh my god, you two, that's enough. All right,
maybe the Cannonball lady will drop.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Oh, here you go.
It takes a lot for me to like. The fact that Neil Peart was that band's drummer and I still didn't listen to it.
I know, that's remarkable. Actually, that is remarkable. That's saying something, especially with you.
Can't get into it. Cannot get into it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. We've got a few more comments here. So Sally's gone, for me, it's the emotive content. Same as Andrew. Melody is a big thing too, but the vocal is paramount for me regardless of the musical delivery. If you sound like Bob Dylan, I'm out. That's a fair point there too. That's going to be
Bob Dylan.
See, yeah, but I understand the dryness though. The tone isn't the most ideal thing, but
that's where I'm the opposite.
Okay.
If you want a perfect singer, go watch The Voice. If you want a perfect singer, go watch The Voice. If you want to listen to a fucking rock and roll star, go listen to a rock and roll star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh.
Humans aren't perfect. We're not. We don't.
Oh no, I
I
don't
would
want
much rather somebody. I would much relate. Mastodon is a perfect example. You ever seen Mastodon live?
Yeah.
I would much rather somebody belted out really shit than somebody plastic performance of perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
What about Vince Neil?
Yeah, that's the case where someone is so bad, people are talking about it for the wrong reasons.
No, but he's going through the motions and still sucking. So
that's when you're phoning it in. That's when people. When you, that's bad. Unless it's Michael Starr in the Powerline video. Anyway. Vinny says on the flip side, at a funeral when they play a montage over pictures, the lyrics usually hit you first. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
it really does depend on the place in time that you're at too. Darren says every time you hear Gary Moore, Goosebump Central. So there we go on that. And Nicole says I like what I like regardless of genre, except for music that makes me angry, i.e. house, trance, and gangster rap. So yeah, that's different for everyone as well. Here we go. Tony says subconscious bias is a thing. For example, I always like whatever albums my mates make. So there we go. That's something else. So when you know the person, that is a thing. That is definitely a thing. And then Michael said Area 7 are fantastic. I photographed and seen them 3 times. So there we go. That's from Michael. Yeah. And then Lee says to recite a quote from Keith Richards, rock and roll music for the neck downwards. So there we go. That's not a bad way to put it, actually. Very cool. Vinny's Mal's gone. Vinny, haven't been to many funerals where they played metal, though. So there we go.
Well, I already picked what songs I want played at my funeral. So
yeah, I think a few of us have done that. Yep. Vinny says Pink Floyd rolled gold on both fronts. Yes, I completely concur with that one. And now we're getting love for Area 7. So we're going all over the joint. Nicole loves Area 7 on YouTube there, which is cool. But then Sally says, nope, I can't stand the polished plastic of the voice. They're templates. You belting it out, giving it your all, that's my thing. But pitch and tone matter. And that's where I understand that as well. All righty. Geez, we've gone for a while now. And hopefully everyone enjoyed that conversation. That was a sparky one there, Dave. So well done for the topic. That's all credit to Dave. That sort of one to come up with there. So I figured we threw it in and we got quite a bit out of that. So keep giving us your thoughts as we go along. But now we're going to move into quickly ranking off our top 5 Megadeth albums. We did put this up on the page earlier today. So make sure you feel free to give us your top 5 or whatever, top 2, top 3, whatever you feel like doing in the context of Megadeth albums. What are your top albums from Megadeth? Well, we just go through and just quickly rank off our top 5. Let's go to you first, Tim. How'd you go with this?
Let me just grab it up here for a second. Here we go. So from 5 down?
Yeah, go with that.
All right. So number 5, Euthanasia.
Cool.
Number 4, Countdown to Extinction.
Okay.
Number 3, United Abominations.
Okay.
Number 2, Peace Cells. And number 1, Rust in Peace. Because of course it is.
Nice. All right. Cool. What about you, Dave? I'm pretty sure we're going to get some different lists out of this.
Oh, they're very different. But number 5, it's just like, which album do I want to put in there? But I went with World Needs a Hero. That was number 5. Number 4 was Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? Number 3 is So Far, So Good, So What? Number 2 is Rust in Peace. And number 1 is Countdown to Extinction.
I think our top 2 are going to be same across the board, but it's the other ones that make up our top 5 that are going to be the differences here. And from my context, I came into this band a lot later than a lot of other people did because I really didn't pay much attention until much later in life in general. So for me, I didn't have any of those, fundamental sticking points when it came to Megadeth. I always preferred Metallica for a while. And then we did that special, and it's like, oh, fuck, I've been sleeping on this band for far too long. But anyway, my top 5. So 5 through 1 is Euthanasia, number 5. Train of Consequences, I took Le Monde, Elysian Fields, my standout tracks on that one. Then I actually put Dystopia in. I think The Threat Is Real, Post-American World, Bullet to the Brain. There's some really cool songs on that one.
That's a great fucking album.
Yeah. Endgame. That was one that really started me off with, really starting to appreciate the band a lot more. So Endgame, like tracks like 44 Minutes, Bite the Hand, Dialectic Chaos, the instrumental to open it with, and Head Crusher, How the Story Ends. Those are some really cool songs. They really got my attention for the first time. Seriously pay attention to this band. But then, you get down to the top 2, which I think is the same for everyone. So Rust in Peace was my number 2 with Holy Wars, Hangar 18, Lucretia. Those sorts of tracks were always, Awesome. But then I think my main one was Countdown to Extinction, Symphony of Destruction. I mean, that just for the fan interaction alone, it's hard to go past that. But then, Sweating Bullets, Skin to My Teeth, Foreclosure of a Dream, bit of a sleeper track on that one as well. There are some great tracks across the board now. So that was my sort of... Sorry?
Psychotron.
Yeah. There's a lot of great tracks across all those albums. But just wanted to quickly sort of, because they've got a new album coming out, we all sort of raving about the new single. I figured, fuck it, let's have some fun and list off our top 5. So make sure you give us your top 5, and if you remember it, then let us know whose list you like the most. But yeah, I think everyone's top 2 is pretty much A or B kind of thing. It's 1A, 1B kind of. It's like a B stick between them. So, but yeah, very cool little bit of fun there. Very quick, easy to do. Oh, here we go. Nicole says, back onto the funeral stuff for a second. My mum had Metal Heart playing at a funeral, so there you go. What? Brett's gone, has anyone frisbee that Horrible Noise Works album that Nikki owns yet? No, she won't let us near it to do it. So that's about that one from Brett. Good question.
One of us is going to have to break into a house to get it.
Yeah, that ain't happening willingly. I don't care how drunk we get her. It ain't going to happen willingly. It's just not going to happen. Alrighty, on to the Megadeth subject. Conrad's gone. So far, so good. So what? Number 1. Okay, cool. Number 2, Rust in Peace. Number 3, Peace Sells. 4, Countdown. 5, The System Has Failed. Very different list to us.
System Has Failed is very good with Vinny on drums.
Yeah. Yes. Brett's gone Rust in Peace, number 1, which is, again, like I said, 1A, 1B are going to be pretty common, I think. But then Jeff's gone Rust in Peace 5, Rust in Peace 4, Rust in Peace 2, and 1. All the way through, it's Rust in Peace. There we go. Thanks for sharing that one, Jeff. I guess you're a fan of the album. But Tony says, question for all. With the earlier Megadeth albums, are the remastered versions better or the originals, or it doesn't matter? That is a hot topic on those albums. What do you guys think? Dave, you got any thoughts on that one quickly?
I grew up with the originals. So when you hear the remasters, it's just like, yeah, I'll stick with the originals. I just prefer the sound that you grow up with. And when you hear it all polished and altered and different vocal tracks on Rust in Peace, okay. And it's interesting hearing the unmuted Peace Sells, where he just lets the chord ring. So it's interesting hearing that, but I'll just stick with the originals.
Yeah, no, cool. Sorry, it's another comment that made me fucking laugh there. How about you, Tim? You got any thoughts on that one?
I think the originals are more familiar. I think that's probably what I'd go with.
See, for me, because I came in later, I don't have that bias. So from a technical execution point of view, it doesn't make any difference to me at all. I'm perfectly content with the remasters. I know that that's probably sacrilege to a lot of people out there, but it doesn't faze me in the slightest. So I don't think technical execution-wise they're a bad listen. I think that they're fine. So it doesn't impact me when I listen to it at all. So
it's a song, but I can still listen to it if it's on. I'm not going to get that off and put the fucking original on.
Yeah, that's Dennis. Dennis would do that. He'd go, fuck that off. No, it didn't bother me at all. I always thought that was, I know it impacts different people differently, but for me, I always thought that hype was a bit overblown, to be honest. So, I don't know. Interesting one there. Good question, Tony. What do we got here? Vinny says, Rust in Peace. Lucky you said rank off the top 5 albums. I would have run out of tissues with this cold weather. So there we go. And then Rowan says, whichever one has Hangar 18. There we go. But Brett says the older albums sound much better than the remasters. There we go. We're going to get different opinions on that one. Darren also says originals all the way. So I know I'm the outlier. But it's just where I thought in it. But Darren says, Rust in Peace, Countdown to Extinction, Peace Sells, Dystopia, and Killing Is My Business. So again, we're getting some really different choices again, which is really cool to see how much this band's discography has stayed with people over the years, which is always good to do these sort of lists. So keep them coming. Let us know what your top 5 Megadeth albums are, or your top whatever.
Do you remember that acoustic live album we did?
Yes.
Last year or early this year, whatever. Yeah.
God.
For what it was, I didn't mind. It was a bit of fun.
It was bad good.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it. Actually, the production was woeful.
Yeah, would have been better to have been there. It wasn't captured well.
Yeah, if you're live, if you're in the room, it would have been fucking fantastic. Being in the room would have been.
It sounded like everyone was having fun, and that's what was infectious about it.
That's where getting the live, or when you're doing live albums, getting the audience mixed in right can have a big impact on how it feels to listen to a live album. For me. But anyway, what do we got here? Lee says, Peace Cells, Rust in Peace, Endgame, Countdown to Extinction, and United Abominations. The System Has Failed and Dystopia are also worthy of contention. So there we go. We are getting very different lists in this one. Thank you all so much. Oh, Craig has jumped in as well. Good to see you. So far, so good. So what? Rust in Peace, Endgame, Dystopia, The System Has Failed. And Brett has gone, I like Public Enemy #1, Just Rocks the One song. That is a very good song, though. That is a very, very good song. Alrighty. Whoa, here we go. Oh, Tony says Hidden Treasures is underrated.
That is a good release.
It is a good release, that one. That is a very good release. I didn't quite put it into this category, like me personally, mentally thinking about it, but no, it's a worthwhile listen, that one. Very, very cool indeed. Alrighty, Dave, I think we'll stick you to the naughty corner for a minute.
Okay.
Well, you get to go and take a break. And here we go. Vinny's gone. Great to everyone ranking off to Megadeth. Yes, we're all ranking off to Megadeth. That's just how we are tonight. Dave's going to go and rub one off to Megadeth right now while we send him to the naughty corner for a minute. And we'll bring him back after this because we're going to do the classic album first this week. So Tim and I are going to do that. Dave, I'm going to send you to the naughty corner. We'll get you back in a few minutes.
Cheers.
Alrighty, Tim, let's get stuck in. Let's get to the classic album first and foremost tonight. So for those playing along at home, you may or may not know that this week's is Hatebreed with the album Perseverance. Your reference track is I Will Be Heard, not I Will Be Hard in the context of the conversation we're having just now. But the song is Hatebreed, I Will Be Heard. That is your reference track. It's in the comments. It's in the description box. So let's get stuck into our reviews for tonight. This is Hatebreed with Perseverance. 16 tracks for 39 minutes. The second studio album from the American band released March 2002 via Universal Records. Produced by Matt Hyde across 3 studios in Los Angeles and North Brookfield. 2 singles were released from this in I Will Be Heard and the title track. I Will Be Heard also featured in the film Triple X, and the track Below the Bottom featured on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre soundtrack as well. There is a guest spot from Kerry King on the track Final Prayer. This album peaked number 50 in the US, number 195 in the UK. Was the band's last with guitarist Lou Richards, and this year is the album's 20th anniversary. It's this week's Patreon choice as voted on by the Patreon supporters. If you want to get involved in voting on these ones, join us on that platform and get in there and vote every week on what the classic album is going to be. Tim, over to you.
Now, I love Hatebreed, but why did this need 3 albums? Why did this need 3 studios?
I don't know why it needed 3 studios. It didn't need 3 studios. I can say that right now. No, it didn't.
No, man. Now, here's the deal.
If Slipknot can do Iowa in 1, these guys can do it in 1.
Okay, first off, as a side note, as a guy who likes Dave, I was pleased for him to see that he's not reviewing this album.
Yeah,
but as a person who likes to be entertained, I'm disappointed that Dave is not reviewing this album.
I agree. It was going to be a very different review if he jumped in. He wasn't going to like this
one.
Oh,
man. Now, I love Hatebreed, as I said before, but this is going to 200% come down to just taste. Because there's really not a lot of variety. I'd like to tell you there's more variety on other albums, but really there isn't. And what it basically is just a dude barking into a microphone, and you just stand there sipping tea, going, "Yeah, me too, bro." And that's basically it. And I rather enjoy that. It's music to beat people up in mosh pits to. That's what it is. Yeah. That's how Hatebreed made their mark, and that's where Hatebreed are at their best, is music to beat people up to. So if you like that, if you like fight riffs, if you like breakdowns, if you like dudes barking into a microphone yelling things that generally think non-offensive things that we all kind of agree with, that somehow sound edgy, you're going to really like Hatebreed. If you like fat grooves and, sludgy riffs, then you're going to like Hatebreed. If you want variety or a musical journey or anything, like we were talking about before, if you want lyrics, not for you.
Yep.
If you want feel and something to make you Well, again, like you said, what is that? I think what it lacks in eloquence, it makes up for in being
Sheer
upfront
brutality.
and just sheer brutality. And it's 50 minutes of fuck you, and that's certainly got its place in the world. So it is really tough to pick a standout on this album because it is a cliche to say they all sound the same, but they literally all sound the same.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get it. I completely get it.
Well, I mean, Destroy Everything by Hatebreed is sort of like the one song that people know, but that's because like it's got a really recognizable bass riff, and it's one of the only songs that they have that has that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of argument, I'll put A Call for Blood, but toss them all up there in the air. They're all pretty much the same. But I mean, like I said, that doesn't make it any less enjoyable. It's it's an album to put on while you're driving on the freeway, and you can get a speaking ticket listening to it.
Cool. What'd you give out of 10?
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yep, cool. All right. Sorry, I thought I missed it. Don't mind me. I'm not trying to cut you off, and I just didn't. Thought I missed it. Yeah, I agree with you. It's a very 2002 mosh pit album, isn't it? Like it does just feel like 2002 in a mosh pit. That's what it's all about. And it's a term we use. It's American muscle metal, and it's just what it's all about. That's all it is. It's just I'm going to beat you the fuck up. I'm going to make it all angry. But it's also that cathartic kind of thing as well. I think Jamie Jaster and in general Hatebreed have gotten better over the years than this particular release for mine. I've heard better albums than this one from their collection in later years. But this one's pretty good. Like it's angry from the top. Like the opening minute of this album will tell you if you like the album overall. You need to listen to the first minute. If you like it, you'll enjoy the album. If you don't, you're not going to find anything else, and the rest of the 40 minutes is going to get your attention. It's got the harsh, aggressive vocals, which would be why it'd be fun to get Dave's take on this, but he bailed out on that. So, if you want melody, look somewhere else. That is all the way through this one. What differentiates the songs is sort of the riffs and the rhythms on it. Those tempo changes and the swing involved are what make things stand apart. Again, would go off live at the time of release in particular, but then again, now you get the nostalgia effect as well. The 40-year-olds that listen to this and they were 20 would go hard now too.
3 o'clock in the afternoon at a festival. Woo!
Yeah, it'd go off. It'd be absolutely batshit. I liked it's very safe lyrically in terms of what it's targeting, but there's still plenty to say in it though. Like there's a lot of bite, attitude, and aggression in there. But I like how
which is very 2002.
Exactly. Yes. You're punching up, always punching up, which makes it easy for the crowd to come along with you. What I liked was the way the mix sort of carved out the vocals. That made it, I know it's aggressive and harsh, but you can actually make out what's being said, which is kind of important for this style of music. It gives you that catch cry when the chorus comes on, sort of go off to, so there's not a lot of depth. It's a big sound wall, but what they did with, carving out the space with the vocals was very clever. But that said, there's a bit more subtlety than you might think. It's balanced because there's neat layering involved. There's some good push and pull, especially with the vocals, where they sort of push and pulled on songs, help to sort of move things along on this one as well. Nothing complicated here at all. It is pretty straightforward. The funniest thing for me was where all the songs are really short and snappy in that when Kerry King comes on to play his little solo bit, it's a typical Kerry King solo. It's fucking blink and you miss it, and it's fucking random as all shit, but it's the only one on the album, so it really does stand out as well, kind of thing. Is that you go, oh, hang on, that was there, and it's not world beating, but it stands out because it is just the only thing of its kind on the album.
Imagine like I know people make fun of Kerry King. I think Kerry King's like a monster rhythm guitar player.
Rhythm guitar, yes.
And I think his leads are appropriate for Slayer.
They work there, yes, they do.
But imagine like getting Kerry King and like getting him to do a solo, like.
Of all the choices,
you think if you get Kerry King, just like just play a monster riff.
Yeah, I would want that myself. I'd want it. I'd want a heavy as fuck riff, not necessarily a solo. But hey. I'm not a fan of his lead work personally. I know it suits Slayer, but that's about where it belongs for mine. That's a different conversation for a different time. It was just funny that it was the only thing on this album that just stood out in that regard.
But again, it's a 2002 thing. It's it's the St. Anger thing. Whereas where's the guitar solos?
That's
really
good point.
This is the era of Saliva and Traptor a thing.
Yeah.
And Machine Head doing Blood, Sweat, and Beers or whatever it was.
Mm.
So it's a product of its time.
Definitely true. And all these songs go for about the 2.5 to 3.5 minute mark. There's nothing sort of long or drawn out here. It's all bang, 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 bang all the way through. Like there's 16 tracks in 40 minutes. You work it out.
It's wallet chain music.
Yes, definitely. That's a good way to put it, actually. Blood-Soaked Memories is about as close as you get to a slower track on this one. It's in the middle of the album kind of thing. It's a slightly more atmospheric moment. Not really soft, though. It's just a bit different to the rest. But, it's an interesting, well-done album. It's well performed. For the style of music, this is very well put together. Like, it's going to come down to taste because execution-wise, it's well done. For me, there's nothing bad about it, but it does sort of suffer from being a bit too like for like when it comes from song to song. Just it doesn't do quite enough to sort of make it a journey of a listen. It's good, but it's not one of those ones that you'll sort of go back to repeatedly for mine. It's good for a nostalgia hit, but I've listened to it a few times this week, and it's like, okay, cool, had my fill, and it'll go away for another 10 years probably at this point in time now after listening to it again. But that said, it's good. It's got a nostalgia hit. It's a lot of fun at the same time. And again, if you were seeing it live, you'd go fucking off to it. It's one of those things where it's just going to have that vibe. My critiques on this one don't take away from the list. I think it's still a very good, solid album. I gave it an 8 out of 10 as well. I picked Hollow Ground, Perseverance, and Healing to Suffer Again as my standouts on this one in particular. Alrighty, we got some comments on that, but I'm going to bring Dave back in shortly. Hey, Dave.
Hey.
Did you listen to Hatebreed at all, or?
Yeah, I actually made a comment on the page about it, but I was listening to a review. You were 100% right. If you don't like the first minute, you're not going to like the album.
I see it now. Let's scroll through Dave's comment for those playing along at home. You're right. The first minute was enough for me. There we go.
And I was right. I figured the whole album would be exactly the same. So,
yes, you're right.
How to review an album in 60 seconds.
Right, yeah.
Oh, mate. You could have chopped and changed a review for like an album they released last year.
Yeah, just about. I do think there's a bit more maturity over the years. But anyway, that's musical maturity, not anything else, just musical maturity. Conrad says, I dig this song but could not handle the whole album. This is just too angry for me as I'm no longer an angry teenager, and that's just as fair as well. It is going to come down to taste. Darren says, love this back then. Haven't listened to it for years. Perseverance and Hollow Ground would be the standards there as well. Andrew says, Hatebreed. Sometimes I like that style of lyrics, some other times not. This is a not. Jeff says, Kerry King can't play his way out of a wet paper bag. He is a shockingly bad guitar player. Suits Slayer because they suck at. Oh, here we go. Now it's shots fired.
Oh, it's Rush versus Slayer.
That is factually incorrect.
Oh, Rush versus Slayer. Here we go.
The trees versus the skulls.
It's the elves versus the orcs. It's precisely.
And who wants Legolas to win?
Yeah.
It's not the elves versus the orcs. It's the elves versus the dwarves. And it's Legolas versus Gimli. Who wants? Gimli, come on.
Oh man, this is going to be.
Nobody talking to a dwarf.
Oh, exactly.
How do we get here? Oh wow. Brett says, if Nikki has Hatebreed albums, freeze with them as well. Oh well, we are off.
I think my favorite Hatebreed lyric of all time is, I think it's on Supremacy, but of all the lies that I've told, it's the least untrue.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
Of all the lies that I've told, this is the least untrue.
Ah, okay. That's clever.
Because it just means nothing.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but it's also a clever way of putting it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a good wordplay.
But that's what I mean. It means absolutely nothing, but they tried. Yeah. It's like a politician saying, well, we'll announce that in due time.
They should have taught Scott Morrison a thing or two. Actually, no. Here we go. Sorry. Jeff's going, if Dave can insult Getty, I can insult Kerry. There we go. Hey, it's all good. We're in love and we're in love war. I'm sitting here as a spectator going, fucking bring it on. We got from that to fucking tossing dwarves in 30 seconds flat. So, you know, what's not flat? So there we go. Tough. Our good friend Tough has joined us. He's going, I love it. It's like going back to when I was 16. So there we go, Tough.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoy that too.
So that, honestly, that'll have something to do with it. I think I was 12 when this came out.
Yeah. There is a oh, here we go. Tough's on. Here's a riddle. Who is that with a neck and no head? Mm-hmm. All right, give us the answer. Unless someone else knows. Who is that with a neck and no head? But on the other side of things, Tony says Hatebreed said he's make good drink coasters. But then also Conrad says Rush run circles around Slayer. Rush has more musical talent in their farts than Slayer has in their music. So there we go. We're getting all sorts of back and forth now. You guys can all go.
Again, this goes back to what's complex versus fun.
True.
Like
Conrad missed
Rush
it.
Rush can do all the shit they want. Rush, they're just not as good as Slayer.
They're two entirely different bands. Oh, here we go. Tough's got the answer.
Like for all everything that Rush has ever done, like, I mean, who listens to South of Heaven and thinks it's crap? Come on.
Yeah, but people can say the same thing about Tom Sawyer. People listen to Tom Sawyer and think it's great as well. So, you know, take your pick. I like both personally, but hey.
Yeah, that's what everybody goes to. They always go to Tom Sawyer.
I wouldn't. That's actually not my favorite. You know, I think it's a great song, but I reckon if you listen to their stuff,
South of Heaven, Seasons in the Abyss, Raining Blood. Even man, fucking the last Repentless was the best album they've done in years.
Yeah, but Clockwork Angels from Rush was good as well, and that was one of the later ones they did. So, if not the final,
World Painted Blood, Disciple. What a riff!
Geddy
Lee's never written a riff like Disciple.
Oh man, but it's totally different. This is apples and peanuts at this point. That's what we're comparing now.
I know, it's a stupid argument, but still.
It is a really ridiculous argument, but it's fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
I was about to say something like, yeah, you know what would make Tom Sawyer even better? Like fucking Dave Lombardo's double kicks.
I'm sorry, but Neil Pitt is going to cover Dave Lombardo by a fair bit.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer.
What you need is a Slayer song with an Alex Lifeson solo. That's what you need.
Imagine like as
this is a would you rather. This is a would you rather moment.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's like Rush walk out to start their gig and you just hear like feedback for like 5 minutes.
Oh wow. Oh, here we go. It's getting interesting. So about the riddle though, here's a riddle. Who is that with a neck and no head? Tough says a shirt. So there we go. We're getting the dad jokes coming in now. And Darren's gone, have we moved to kindergarten? I think we're a bit below that, to be honest. So what have we got? Brett says Subdivisions is a brilliant song too. Yep, there we go. Jeff says the fact that people are comparing Rush to Slayer says all you need to know about these people. Yes, we're people. There we go. Mel says Rush and Slayer are so different, but both worthy of respect. And I think that is probably the fairest comment of them all when it comes to this little mini debate here tonight. Hopefully everyone's having fun with it because we're about to get a whole stupid in a minute.
Oh, we're going to get silly now.
Oh, we're going to get very silly in a moment. Just quickly though, one more joke from Tufts on what gets wet while drying. A towel. There we go. This is like, here we go. Joshua Batten, good to see you, buddy. I know you got some new music coming out as well. So good luck with the new album coming up and the new single soon too. Did you guys review Envy of None? That's Alex's new band, more Nine Inch Nails and Rust. I have heard some of it. We didn't get around to reviewing it. That was one of the ones that's on the to-do list. At some point, we'll try and get to it. But that is an interesting project. That one for sure was very, very interesting. Have either of you guys heard that one? I'm assuming not at this point in time, but no, it's very different to Rush. Very different to Rush. Tough says, Rush and Slayer, what the fuck? It's like chalk and cheese. Yes, we're going to move on from this one now and go to even more stupidity, because if you thought we were having fun before, we're going to go off the rails in about 30 seconds flat while we talk about the latest from the mighty Alestorm. So in the comments, in the description box, we have a link to the title track. This is Alestorm with 7th Rum of a 7th Rum. That is your reference track. It's also the title of the album. So without any further ado, let's get into our second review of the evening. Well, Dave gets the props out yet again. This is Alestorm. Tim's just seen it. Hang on. Just for those playing along at home, solo loud for Dave. So there we go. All righty. Alestorm.
You're like Kramer. It's itchy.
Like I said, you thought we were being silly before. We're going to go fucking way out of here now.
Oh, man. Imagine people viewing the tapings.
Oh, man. Yeah. No. Fuck. This is, yeah. The people that you sit through this shit at the studio, I pity them. To be honest. Alrighty. Alestorm, 7th Rum of a 7th Rum, 11 tracks, 43 minutes, the 7th studio album of the Scottish band, released June 2022 via Napalm Records. Russell Lammett at Middle Farm Studios in Devon, England. 4 singles have been released, including Magellan's Expedition and Party. In case you couldn't tell, the album title is a play on the iconic Maiden album 7th Son of a 7th Son. There are also a few guest spots on this one, including Captain Yarface and doing vocals, and Paddy Gurdy playing the hurdy-gurdy. The deluxe edition features acoustic versions and versions where the vocals are replaced by dogs. There is a lot of love and dislike for this band, or for this pirate metal genre overall. Like I said, we're going to get very, very stupid, but let's go to you first, Tim.
All right, let's just get the track listing up here. Now, 7th Rum of a 7th Rum.
One of the best album titles.
Unbelievable. Loved it. Now, I have one downside on this album. Only one.
Only one?
And that is, if I was king of the earth, I would give the death sentence to anyone who used party as a verb. Now, P-A-R-T-Y counts. That's a pet peeve of mine. I hate party as a verb. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, brilliant from start to finish. I don't understand people who don't like this style of music, just because it is one of the oldest styles of music played in a modern setting, and that is just catchy, rhythmic melodies, essentially, to work to. Yeah. Yep. And it's just something to keep your mind occupied while you do mindless tasks. And that's all Alestorm really do, and they just play it in a modern setting with modern instruments and guitar solos. Now, I don't know if there were any Hungarian pirates, but I approved.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was a fantastic little segue. I'm pretty sure Hungary's landlocked too, isn't it?
I believe so, from memory. I'm not entirely over that one, but yeah.
Which makes it even better.
Yes.
How did they think of this? And like straight from the opening track too. Straight from the opening track too. And isn't this like their 8th album?
7th, I think it is, but
it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, well, it would be funnier if they did it on their 8th album. Yeah.
Yeah, but why pass up the opportunity for 7th Rum and the 7th Rum?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's the obvious, elephant in the room, which is, if you've heard the album, there is one track that really sticks out, and that is Cannonball.
Yes.
It's just
Oh my god.
one of the greatest songs I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oh, it's so good.
I really like bad, silly lyrics, and I really like, even more so, I like silly lyrics that are obviously well thought out.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
You know, like,
it's the
I can
Seinfeld
guarantee
effect.
you, I was the only dude in this panel, or I'm probably watching this stream. I loved Work by Cardi B because it was so ridiculously stupid. And that's what I love about Cannonball as well. It is so well thought out. It rhymes so spectacularly. Everything sits exactly where it should. It is such a well-written song, but it is so preposterously stupid. It's brilliant. I think this is one of the tracks of the year, and I don't think you'll ever get sick of it. Cannonball by Alestorm. What a fucking track.
Yeah.
But start to finish, I mean, look, if you don't like this, if you don't like pirate metal, I don't know what's wrong with you personally, but I think this album is fucking great, and I think it's one of the better, honestly, out of all the Alestorm albums, I think it's one of the better ones.
This is a good one.
Which is saying something because I really like the band. 9.5 out of 10. Took half a point off the fuck knows, probably the party. But my highlights were obviously Cannonball, but also Bite the Hook Hand That Feeds. I thought that was a great track as well.
Yeah,
that was cool. Now, Dave, when I referenced before about, things that I'd be interested to get your feedback on, he's got his lager phone. The song Party was the one that I was thinking of before, Dave, when I was referencing that it was coming up. So how did you go with that song in particular? And then tell us your thoughts on the rest of the album.
Party's fucking awesome. I love it. Heard it when it came out as a single, watched the video, let my kids watch the video, thinking, yeah, this band's pretty wholesome. They're not fucking listening to Cannonball, that's for sure. Yeah, Party's cool. It shows how diverse this band actually can be. Wow. But this is really fucking hard reading with one eye. Okay? Shit I do for this show. Oh, fuck. This is fucking amazing. I love this band. I love pirate metal. Alestorm and Lagerstein, two of the most fun bands I have heard in probably in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You would think having the pirate gimmick would be confining when writing songs. You would run out of ideas pretty quickly, but thinking about pirates and everything it involves, there's actually a lot you can brainstorm and work with. Ships, sailing, rum, fighting, mutiny, wenches, regret, all different types of visitations around the world. And it's all done against the backdrop of some fucking awesome heavy metal musicianship. The fucking melodies on these things are amazing. As Tim said, it's one of the oldest types of music around, brought into the modern era to do mundane tasks. I was first listening to this at work when it came out. Thankfully, I was on my own that day because some of these songs had me laughing out loud. And I think I was singing along at some points.
Mate, I was singing along to Cannonball after the first chorus at work.
Yeah, me too. Same with Battle of Cape Fear River. The chorus comes on, I'm a fucking pirate!
Yes.
You cannot be fucking singing along with that. I'm a fucking pirate. That's when they got
yeah.
Fucking, they're coming to Melbourne. I gotta find some money to go see them. That would be an amazing, amazing show. As mentioned, Party, it's got a bit of a disco vibe, but they've brought the metal into it. And that's just how diverse this album is. You got disco, some full-on punk metal, you got classic rock, and fucking prog metal, maybe. Okay, now Cannonball.
What a song!
Yeah, as soon as they, it's not just stick a cannonball up your
dog bark
fish bucket, and put your dick in a blender. Who the fuck writes lyrics like this, man? Okay, the start kind of starts like a fucking Nintendo, but I can overlook that. It's a minor gripe. Bite the Hook Hand That Feeds. What a fantastic idea for a pirate metal song. Taking the angle of just being sick of the whole pirate life.
Yeah.
I've had it with a stupid hat, and I hate the taste of rum.
Yes.
The melodies and the chorus and the gang vocals, everything about that song is just fucking awesome.
They took the piss out of their own gimmick. I think that's great.
Exactly. I hate this stupid hat, and I hate the taste of rum.
Yeah.
Fuck. If you've been a long-time fan of this band, they've done Wooden Leg, Part 1 and 2, and you get Part 3 on this. Each song is done differently. Each one is awesome in their own way. I think Part 2, the woodening, is actually the funniest.
Oh man.
Oh fuck. Wooden leg, wooden arms. I cut off my own head. Wooden head. Okay. For the hardcore fans, you got the deluxe edition that comes with the acoustic songs, which are really interesting to hear these songs stripped down to their bare minimum. And then you got for dogs, where all the vocals are replaced by dog barks. So my kids can listen to Cannonball with dogs. Rory thinks it's the most amazing thing. He's been listening to Cannonball on Spotify not Cannonball. Fuck.
His mind is going to be blown in about 10 years when he hears the song in its real form.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be a conversation. Yeah, he's been listening to Party, the original version of Party, over and over. I was almost sick of that song before the album, but the album gave it new life. Yeah. When he heard it with dogs, he's like, this is the greatest thing ever. And he's like, how did they train the dogs to do this? I'm like, it's probably not him.
You should tell him
they got 12 very versatile dogs to memorize these lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. My standouts for this are Battle of Cape Fear River, Cannonball, Party, Bite the Hook Hand It Feeds, Return to Tonga, You Gotta Drink Rum, then You Gotta Drink Rum with Me, yes. Wooden Leg Part 3. Now, this album gets a shot of rum. A yo-ho-ho, a ship's ahoy, a wooden leg, a dick in a blender, and 4 cannonballs up the cunt. 9 out of 10. Fuck yeah.
Oh man, this is a one of a kind review. We'll never fucking replicate this one. Wow. This band are always fucking hilarious to me. This style of music is fantastic, but I think these guys and Lagerstein probably the two best going at it for my personal taste. It's metal, it's got folk instruments, it's got all those fucking things, but the Scottish accents are the fucking icing on top of it all. And it's got lyrics about pirating. What's not to like? Jokes and gimmicks aside, I can't top the previous reviews. But jokes and gimmicks aside, this takes serious talent to pull this off without it being fucking tacky. This is well done, well written, well performed, well produced. Everything from this top to bottom execution-wise, regardless of what you think of the gimmick, it's just so it's that Steel Panther effect where it's so well done, it's hard not to be impressed by just how good it is. That said, I love the songs. I love the lyrics. I love the content. I love the context. I love the gimmick. I love the whole lot of it. So I'm happy for days listening to this one. This, you'll either get this and love it really quickly, or you're never going to get it. And I pity you, like I do my wife and kids, for not understanding this one, because I love Keelhauled. And every time I play Keelhauled, I drive the family nuts because I'll run around the house going, with a bottle of rum and a yo-ho-ho. Like, this is the intellectual depth we're talking about here. I can't wait to start singing Cannonball. They're really going to lose their shit by doing that. Or Tortuga. That'll be another one as well. Tortuga's another good one. Wow, there are some great chant-along, like the Tortuga one, Cannonball, if you're going to drink rum with me. There's so many catch cries in this one. They're going to go off.
I'm a fucking pirate.
That one. There is just moments for the live set all over this, but they're so good. Just listen to it on the album, and I just love it. You're going to chant along to so much of this one. The balance is great on this one. The vocals sit just right. I could rave about this thing for days. The production is just fucking mint for the style of music. It's so well done. Everything gets to take a little spotlight here and there, which is nice too. Everything, the harsher vocals are done just the right way. The balance between the two vocalists is really well done. The gang vocals are fantastic. Yo-ho is just great. It's rarely used as well as these guys do it. And, Party, though, for me, was a really different track. That, to me, was my note was that one. It sounds like them parodying Aqua. I don't know how the fuck they pulled that off. They did a good job. That's the thing. It should be annoying, but it's not. Like they did. I don't know how they did it. Same with the Nintendo thing at the start of Cannonball. Like, I don't know, but Cannonball, it's one of the songs of the year. It's utter fucking nonsense, but it is one of the songs, if not the song of the year so far. We're halfway through. It's going to be hard to beat it.
They got to make a video for that. They got
Oh, man. I don't know if they will, but that'd be great if they did. I should do a live video for that one, I reckon.
Yeah.
Do a live video. Like what
live? Went up on the ball, though.
Just want to know how the Cannonball got up there. Was it fired out of the cannon or what happened? Anyway.
He's versatile.
It was like a moving on.
How many cannonballs did you do?
Back from the brink. The Magazazag, whatever it is, that is like Hungarian and English. There's a mix in there too. Like, I don't know what. It doesn't matter what they do. There is such diversity in this one that it's all fucking nailed. Bite the hook hand that feeds, like we've covered off. Just they're taking the piss out of their own gimmick. I mean, how much through the looking glass can you get with these guys? It's brilliant though. And Return to Tortuga is just a great channel along song as well. Like, this has hooks for days in that regard. If you want music to put a smile on your face, this is going to do it in a heartbeat. It won't take long to work out if this sort of stuff is for you or not. I fucking love it. I think it's fantastic. And I think that it's another good album from a damn good band. These guys rarely fucking do anything that disappoints me at all. This is one of their better ones. And I love the cover art as well, by the way. The cover art is fucking brilliant. Probably one of the best ones of the year, to be honest, on a more serious note. The cover art is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Cannonball, Return to Tortuga, Bite the Hook Hand That Feeds, but there's not a dud moment on here. It's fucking well done. Yeah, genuinely check this one out. It's fucking hilarious. And I'm not tired. I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times already, and I'm not sick of it. No, more than that, actually. And I'm not sick of it at all. I think it's fantastic. Do have comments, though. This is going to be interesting. Oh, wow. Here we go. Fuck, there's a few. Wow, there is a few. All right, give us a minute here. Tony says, Running Wild are the best pirate metal band. I haven't checked them out personally, so I have to go and check that out.
All right.
Back to lower stuff. What is lower than kindergarten? Parliament question time. I don't know. I think we're scraping the barrel here tonight.
Hey, 2 nuts went for a walk in the park. One was assaulted.
Lee says Jimmy McFucknugget is in the house. Go, Dave. You good things. So there we go. Jeff says that image of Dave is going on a T-shirt. We should have that one.
Yes.
We can do that.
Another T-shirt with Dave.
Yes. Tough says a pirate walks into a bar and it was at that moment that he realized that his patch was on the wrong eye. Well, there we go. God, the bad jokes are fucking all over tonight. Conrad says, I love this. Great fun. Feel good metal. There we go. Rowan says, couldn't help but notice that Alestorm is Hailstorm with the first letter removed. So I wondered what other bands could remove their first letter too for a lowbrow comedy band name. Oh, that could be interesting. We could have fun with that sort of a thing as a content. That'd be interesting.
Talica. I do like email themed.
Ron Maiden.
Ron Maiden. Oh no. Okay. You've started something.
Ron Maiden, but it's like Oakley Dokley, you have Ronald Weasley from the Harry Potter.
Oh man.
Dream Theater.
Here we go. Back to the lessons in Hungary for a second. Darren said there are Hungarian barbarians. Yeah, that's true. Connor says, a challenge anyone not to go to an Alestorm live show and not have a great time. That'd be true. Andrew says, Alestorm, I liked it, just good fun. Jeff says, any fans of Van Canto in the house? I'm not particularly sure myself, but either of you, I'm not sure.
No, maybe if I like it, if I want it. I don't know.
Tough says, I heard the next album has have a track called Fear of the Duck. So just perfect for the first video. The video for Magellan's Expedition has the fucking big duck in it. That is well played, Tough. Well done. But here we go. On the side of the coin, Darren says sea shanty metal. Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. I do pity you.
Sea shanty.
Yeah, what's wrong with sea shanties?
I don't know. I love them too. Rowan says Slayer over Slayer. Slayer becomes Slayer. Dream Theater becomes Ream Theater. Napalm's death becomes a palm death. So yeah, that's okay. There's some interesting ones here. Tough says metal and pirates match made in Valhalla. There we go. Conrad says just went and check that Cannonball. Absolutely crass, ridiculous. I love it. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Lee says my 11-year-old son's been listening to Cannonball on repeat. I'm in trouble with the good wife tonight. I bet you are.
You're in trouble with the parents at fucking school when the other
oh man. I can't wait. I can't wait to parent teacher night. Like I can't wait for that.
Yeah, there are some kids in that classroom who are going to learn some new words.
You should see the pictures your son is drawing at school.
God. Oh, that's going to be great. Mel says best review ever. Well, we try. The eye patch made it even better, so there we go. Andrew says reviews like these are why I love to watch you guys. We aim high. We aim high.
We do.
What do we got here? Darren says no peer required. Well, that's fair enough. But he wants to know where your parrot is, Dave. Yeah, you missed out.
Man, I tried. My kids don't have any Beanie Boos. I want the fucking. My neighbors don't have one that I could steal. Man, I failed.
Oh, this is going to clip. Tough says Pyrometal makes my Roger jolly giggity.
Ahoy, sailor!
All aboard. All right. Oh, okay. Lee's dug up a Cannonball video. It's in the Facebook comments there.
Yes.
Awesome. Man found I've gone not the NutriBullet. So there we go. Don't put your dick in that. You'll never get it. Blend is bad enough, but it's even worse. Oh, here we go. So there we go.
Hey,
So yeah, Lee and Conrad have found the Facebook video for it. So awesome. For the uns and oses sounds dirty for the taking the first letter away.
Kid Row.
What?
Kid Row.
Kid Row. Ow.
Kid Row.
That's bad. Ooh, we can have some fun with that content. All right, but Jeff also said Dave needs to listen to Rash. So there we go. Wow. Okay, that was up there. That was a hell of a lot of fun. We have 2 more to go. We're not going to follow that up. We're going to try and do 2 more, but I think that's it for you, isn't it, Tim?
That is it for me.
You left on a high. Fucking hell. It's only going to go downhill after this, but we'll give it a shot. But no, thank you for doing that. Did you want to put anything in the bin before you bail out tonight?
Oh, yeah, party's a verb. Oof. No, in all seriousness, shitty parking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people who back out of car parks without looking and then end up holding everybody up because they're backing out.
Yep.
It's like everybody has the courtesy. Like if everybody behaved like them, we would just, make them sit there and be embarrassed.
Yep. Yeah. It's a good way to put it, actually.
In case you can't tell, I do have a slight road rage problem.
It comes off on. But what I hate seeing is people that can't park tiny cars. Like how if you fuck that up, you got problems.
I just hate tiny cars in general.
All I can think of is Mr. Bean.
You think you found one, but some fucking little bitch is parked his little car in there.
Hey, it's probably my car.
Try it in my car. Anyway.
What, the Cannonball?
Yeah. Hey, I can fit one in the tray at least, so there we go. Wow. What do we got here? Tough says morons running into the footy field in the bin. So kind of sad they need to do shit like that. I agree. Bunch of fuckwits. Don't do it. The life ban is kind of fitting. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add there, Tim, before we let you go and Dave and I get on to wrapping things up?
I think we're good.
We're good.
I think we're good.
You've been awesome tonight. Thank you so much for jumping in, and I look forward to doing the next one with you.
I'll see you next week.
All right. See you soon, mate.
Take care.
Yeah.
Take it easy. All righty. Now we get to do 2 more, Dave. We're going to do the Aussie one next, and then we'll close out with Porcupine Tree after that. Cool. Sound good to you?
Yeah, let's get serious.
I know. We can't beat that. We've had the stupid moment. Let's rattle off these last 2 reviews and call it a night. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. We've got a couple more to go, and then we're out of here. I'm amazed how many people are stuck with us tonight, so well done to all of you.
I'm fucking blind, Do you know how quickly it takes your retina to get smaller when you got a patch over it? No, you've got this massive ring light.
Yeah.
You can barely see out of this eye.
You are going to be fucked for the rest of the night. You're going to have to sleep that off.
Tell me walking in the shit.
I want you on the way back inside because you're leaving your bungalow. I want you to like a video filming yourself on your phone just as you're walking in, just to see what happens, just in case. Because knowing you
lost weekend in the backyard.
Or we'll get the video from you and we'll put scene missing all through it, just to play on things in the past. Alrighty, what do we got?
Still haven't made it inside. The wife is going to venture out soon.
Find you singing Cannonball.
Neighbors are calling the police. There's some vulgar guy next door and telling me to do things with a cannonball.
and blenders.
Shut up over there. I think you're dick in a blender.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good insult. Alrighty, in the comments, in the description box, you're going to find a link to another song. The band is called Burn the Highway, and the song for reference is No Points for Second Place. There's actually a bit of a duet on this one. But yeah, Burn the Highway is the band. No Points for Second Place is the song. It's in the comments, in the description box. Go and check it out while we talk about this one from the Aussie band Burn the Highway. So this is Burn the Highway with Weapon X, 11 tracks, 49 minutes, the debut album from the Sydney band, released May 2022 via Hollywood Hitman Studios, produced by the band members Christian Capuzzolo and Rob Favoto at their home in a home studio called Hollywood Hitman Studios. From this album, there is one video for the track No Points for Second Place, so there are a few other videos for songs from the 2021 self-titled EP out there as well. The tracks No Points for Second Place and Runaways also feature guest vocals from Ivy Marie. This was sent to us via Metal Ruse, so thanks to them for the heads up while I've got two dogs running around outside right on time for doing this sort of stuff. But Dave, how'd you go with this one? It's a bit of a different one.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, though. It's a good listen. Just when I thought I figured out what the album was, they would throw a different style in.
Yeah.
So I made a very diverse listen from start to finish. You know, at times it's classic rock sounding, other times it's got a bit more of a punk feel, other times it's serious, other times it's more satirical. Sometimes there's a bit of a metal edge. You know, it's just an interesting listen. And the vocal delivery and the tones change as required for the different songs too. So, you know, sometimes it's a fun tone, sometimes it's more serious, but the lyrics always fit what the story's about. Obviously, what the fuck am I talking about?
You're stuck on Cannonball, aren't you?
Oh, fuck, that shot went straight to my head. The female lyrics are a really nice addition. Now, it's cool that she gets her own themes and her own voice. Yeah. She's not just brought in to do like a backup vocal or something. She can actually have her say it. Yeah, there's just a different energy. It's nice that the two songs are together right in the middle of the album. Great riffing throughout the album. I thought the guitar work was really cool. And you get a really melodic sound on Crossbones. And the lyrics, she listens to death metal in My Hard Rock Princess. I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah. It's a very mellow and laid back track with One Last Time. So just different moods all the way through the album. The guitar tone was really cool on One Last Time. Cool. Devil at the Door. That's pretty heavy right at the start. That's probably the heaviest track on the album. It's got a bit of a quieter outro towards the end. Once again, just a very diverse listen. This is very cool. I'd like to hear a lot more from this band. Go out of 10. Crossbones, Hard Rock Princess, One Last Time, and Weapon X are the standouts.
Okay, cool. I'm surprised Weapon X was one of your standouts. That's not cool. It is a very eclectic album, this one. It has everything. The press release that we got with it said, you know, it has rock, metal, punk, and ballads. And this really does have all that diversity and more, to be honest. The opener, Front Toward Enemy, that's a heavy rock track. Really chunky riff, solid, you know, melody, hook on it. Even a bit of they used some Foley in bits and pieces on this one, which was a nice touch in that one. Crossbones sort of continues that vein as you're going through it. The riff and the guitar tone put me in mind of the gravelly rumble that Trucker Diablos do really well. So that gravel. But there's also a bit of a, you know, the Hey Ho, Let's Go from the Ramones in that song as well. Kind of thing. It's, you know, that sort of a upbeat sort of punk vibe in it. You got some great energy across this one. The production is pretty well done as well. Those Foley aspects are well blended in. The drums are well. I thought the drums were actually really well mixed for a home studio. They did fucking well on the drums. Like, wow. Got to give credit for the way the drums came through on this one in particular. I thought it was really well done. But across the board, the tones are great. The bass and the guitar, as well as the vocals, they all push and pull off each other really nicely. And that helps the differences in the songs to really stand out and gives the whole album balance when listening to it as well. Nothing too tricky to it, but it's just really well done overall. I did get the feeling they liked, it's like that whole thing when you have a toy and it's fun to play with, you can't sort of help yourself a bit. And I thought they did a bit too much on the Foley side of things. I thought they could have dialed it back a little bit and would have had more dramatic impact versus sort of being a bit, if it wasn't there, you missed it kind of thing. I thought they'd leaned into that crutch a little bit too much. But again, I get it. It's a lot of fun to do it. So why wouldn't you? I just thought it would have had more impact had it not been leaned into as heavily as it was. But it was well done. It was just it's a picky thing for me, which I do that anyway. But there's great attention to detail across this one. The thump added in the Tatakai, that was really good as an accent. So when they did the subtle things, they did it really, really well. And that space opened up for the guitar solo in that song in particular really nicely. But the big left turn sort of comes with Hard Rock Princess. Like that's got modern punk all over it. The way you said before, she listens to death metal, but it's about, it's a punk song. It's really interesting in how they've done it. And then you've got the guest spots back-to-back from Ivy Marie, which I actually thought she did a really good job on this album. No Points for Second Place. There's a nice big hook, which is the song that's the reference track here tonight. That's perfect for rock radio. That should be getting played everywhere. Her vocals really sort of help bring that song to more life as well. And there's a pretty good emotive range across all these songs too. A fair bit of like diversity, not only in the song style, but also the sort of emotive content being covered in there as well. She also brings really good harmonies to the track Runaways, the other one. That's a darker track, but her harmony work on that one was really well done. Still got a punk sort of edge to it, though, which is just an interesting one. It's more infectious than you expect a lot of this is, actually, to be honest. But I'm not huge on the style of music that Runaways is, generally speaking. It's one of the ones I tend to struggle with more, but it's actually really infectious, and it's hard to sort of not listen to it. It's really well done. The most extreme twist, which where I was surprised before, was Weapon X. That's the heaviest song on here with the growly vocal. Like, it actually really leans into that sort of thing. One Last Time was also a pure ballad. So you've got absolutely everything in this, 45, 50 minutes of a listen. Almost 100 is an acoustic, pretty much an acoustic track. You've got that Aussie singer-songwriter where the Aussie twang comes out. Now you got absolutely everything. Then you got This Is the Way, which channels like some old school ZZ Top in there as well. Like I said, this is a journey in an album and then some. It's taking the scenic route in a big way, and that's not a bad thing. Your first spin, for me, was a bit jarring on the first spin, but once you sort of settle into things, it's a nice little showcase of diversity from one band in one album. I'm wondering if they'll keep doing it as more albums come along, or if they'll sort of settle in on one thing more than the other, kind of a vibe, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But I think, if anything, they could do with an outside voice just to sort of tighten things up a little bit. It feels like they're a band that's locked into their own process, which is fine. It's all good. If they enjoy it, then I'm not going to sit here and say don't do it. I just think an outside voice might help them to sort of just neaten things up a little bit. But that's just me saying what I feel on it. But it actually flowed better than I thought it would for how diverse and twisty-turny this kind of album is. Interesting listen. There's something here for pretty much anyone and everyone at the same time. And it does grow you. The more you spin this one, the more it does settle. It just takes that minute to get used to it. That's all. Once you settle into it, it's very, very well done. Just think maybe a few too many twists and turns for me, but that was just for me. I did enjoy it, though. I still gave it 7.5 out of 10. Front Toward Enemy, Tatakai, and No Points for Second Place. My standouts on this one. So different kind of an album, that one. Very, very well done, but a different kind of a record. What do we got here? So Tough says, good balance of sounds, good to listen to while playing pool and losing. So there we go. And Darren says, cheers, guys. Great show, Dave. You are fucking hilarious. Have a good one. We're not going anywhere yet. We're still here for a little bit. But if you're all enjoying it, then awesome. But now we have one more album to get through, and then we'll do our bins and get on out of here for tonight. And this is one that, Dave, I know you've been keen on for quite some time. So this is the latest, or one of the latest tracks from Porcupine Tree. Your reference track tonight is Rat's Return. So the band is Porcupine Tree. The song is Rat's Return, while we do our final review for the evening. So this is Porcupine Tree with Closure continuation. 10 tracks for 65 minutes for the deluxe edition, that is. This is the 11th studio album from the British band, released June 2022 via Music for Nations. Produced by the band, 4 singles have been released, including Of the New Day and Harridan. This is the band's first album since The Incident in 2009, was recorded in secret over the last decade, though notably without longtime bassist Colin Edwin. It's been a long and chaotic wait for fans of this band, of which Dave is one, and we'll see if this lived up to what was wanted or expected. Dave, did it fill that spot for you that was missing in your life?
It did. It's time to rank over a Porcupine Tree album.
Oh,
Closure and continuation. If you're a fan of this band, you know what to expect. You won't be disappointed. If you're in the prog rock, you'll certainly love it. But you have to be in the right mood for an album like this. You need to be somewhere where there's no distractions. It's not music that you can listen to at a party or a barbecue or driving. You want to lock yourself away and just immerse yourself in what it is. Grab a drink, sit back, relax. It's very atmospheric and it's very moody. So if you're willing, it'll draw you in pretty quickly. There's some very slick changes in the composition and the tempos and the time signatures. Everything the good prog rock will bring you. Guitar tones are great. They're fucking beautiful in places.
Yeah.
There's some very nice shifts between dirty and clean, all the other types of effects, but it's not a wank fest though. They're not doing effects just to say, hey, look what I got on my effects board. It's just, it suits the atmosphere of the song. It's to get some emotive, get emotion out of the listener.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of musical chops, you know, these guys can certainly play, but once again, they're not overplaying, and everything serves the songs. And as expected, there's some very long songs on here, but nothing exceeds 10 minutes. It's all as tight as possible. And
but the flow was good. Like, it just flowed.
Yeah. I think like the track flow is good because you get a couple of 4 or 5 minute songs and a longer song, and it goes back a bit, like between 6 and 8 minutes, but nothing seems boring or bloated. It's all very engaging and just a great listen.
It's lean.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's prog rock. It's got everything you want from it, but it's not overdone. Which, if people are being prog rock curious, this could be a good place to start.
Yeah, good gateway album. Yep.
Yeah, it's there's hooks, but it's not your basic hook that you get out of a 3-minute pop song or accessible radio thing. But it's there if you need that as a draw to get into some of the more deeper themes that are on display here. The music itself tells as much story as the lyrics do. The lyrics are really well done, but the music itself, it's like it'll shift the mood right where you want to. And it's like in a movie when the score comes up, it's like that's an extra bit you need for the emotional content of what's happening on the screen. The music does exactly the same way for what the lyrics are portraying. And fuck, there are some pretty dark and confronting lyrics at times. There's a song, Camilla's Wreck. There's a line, I'm afraid to be happy, and I couldn't care less if I die. Ordinary stuff like that is like, oh fuck, this is too bleak, but it works really well in this because Steve Wilson has always tackled issues and themes, and he observes. He observes the social condition of everything that's going on.
Well, that was one of the standout elements of the album you brought to us as a torture choice. I forget the name of it now. I apologize.
Fear of a Blank Planet.
Lyrical wise, that was just fucking wow.
That's a fucking amazing album. I love that album. There are lots of stories and thoughts and observations, but he just paints a very vivid picture with his words. If you like reading, if you like the storyteller getting that image and those moods and that emotional context into your head, he does it with his vocals. As just mentioned, I'm a massive fan of Fear of the Blank Planet. That's probably my all-time favorite album from this band, but while this album isn't as heavy musically, they kind of moved a little bit away from the metal that they were experimenting with in that and gone to more of a rock style with this. There's still some very heavy themes throughout this. I honestly wasn't expecting another release from this band. I thought they disbanded a few years ago, and Steve Wilson chose to focus on his solo stuff, and that was cool. But lots of bands do it. They can both exist. You do some solo, you can do some, even if you're just a studio band, it can happen. So let's hope this is a continuation and not a closure.
Nice.
Always be cool to have more music from this band. Okay. They could be hinting at both. It's kind of written like it could go one way or the other, but I'd love to always hear more music from this band. So 8.5 out of 10. Harridan, Rats Return, Dignity, Herd Culling, and Population Free. Nice little instrumental. Yeah,
that was cool. That was a really cool track, actually. The it's funny because this is a really expansive and dramatic listen. There's a lot going on between the writing, the performances, and the production to take in, and it all ties together really, really well. There is some fantastic composition on this one. It's progressive and technical, but it's organic, and that's been, when you hear me talk about this style of music, I like to have the organic flow in things, and this has that. There's some genuine warmth in the tones. There's emotion in the songs. It's all just between this performance, the writing, the production, it all ties together. You got great depth, space, tones across this one. The way they've used panning in the writing, panning in production, and then also space in the writing really opens things up. This whole listening experience from top to bottom is fantastic to take in. This is one of those ones we were talking earlier about what draws us into a listen. For this album, production alone would be enough to drag me in. That's how well it's done. The opening track just gives you so much right from the start of the album. There are a few longer songs on this one, but they all fly by. Nothing drags its feet. That's why I said before it's lean. It is dramatic, it's expansive, but there's just something about it. There's no fill, there's no fluff. It's just all serves a point, serves a purpose. And for how they put this thing together in secret over a decade, for this not to have any of that sort of nonsense going into it, there's no ego attached to it, it's just for these songs to be served so well is remarkable. This is easy to repeat spin. It flies by. From Harridan, you go into Of the New Day, which is like a much slower and emotive track. So you've got these gear changes that are really well done. But also the lyrics and storytelling, like Dave was saying, are on par with the excellence overall with everything else. So everything about this one is just so well executed and put together. It's not even close to funny. By the time you get to the third track, you're into a fucking different world. Rat's Return, which is the reference track tonight, is what you're looking for in more of the prog side of things. But again, it's just got that perfect use of the studio, the space in general, but there's also a little twist on the vocals on that one, which is just right. The vocals just a bit different to the rest of the album. So every song has its own unique sort of stamp on it, which makes this thing, again, it all fits, it all works, it all flows, but it just makes everything different, which makes it all easy to take in. None of this is tiring at all. There's less heavier tracks than there are sort of softer tracks, but the heavier tracks are placed really well on the album too to sort of aid that, keeps things moving. Just when you start to sort of think you might begin to drift off, comes with a punch and just brings you back into the listen again. It's when you had, for example, you got Herd Culling, which is one of my favorite tracks on this album. That was in the middle of the album, which is like the reverse effect. Most of the times you get a softer track in the middle of the album. This is one of the heaviest tracks in the middle of the album, sort of, give that sort of reverse flow, which is just a nice little, intelligent way to put things together. Everything gets to take lead at some point in this one as well. But I thought in particular the solo in Herd Culling was just particularly brilliant. It's just the right touch, and the way it builds up to that moment is great. It's like the perfect high spot in the middle of the album. And Walk the Plank, by comparison, is just incredibly stripped back. It really leans into the digital side of things with that sort of plate reverb going on there as well on the vocals, in the verse in particular. That's a different track. That one was really sort of almost a soundscapey kind of a moment. It was really well done. And every track near again has something different about it. Lots of tension, lots of release. It all is, a dramatic listen, like I've said a few times now, but it is really the best way to describe it. It's diverse, but well put together. None of this is boring at all. There's that almost 7, like that instrumental you mentioned, Population 3. It's almost 7 minutes long, and it's riveting. Absolutely riveting as an instrumental piece of music. This is incredibly well put together. There's even little things like xylophone on a little xylophone-like thing in Never Have. It's just there's little details, little bits and pieces all over this album, which gives you that ear candy. It makes it more rewarding on the repeat spin. But like you said, it is one of those ones where you want to sit down with it and actually take it in full. Don't listen to this while you're distracted or in the background. This is an actual sit down and take it in kind of a record. We've gone from one extreme with Alestorm earlier on. This is the other one where you actually want to take it in and be a bit serious about it for a moment and take the emotive weight in, take the whole context of the album in, because it is really rewarding when you do that. I found this one to be really interesting just listening to it at work and that. When I came home, put the actual noise-cancelling headphones on and just locked myself in with the album, my God, it just took on a whole new fucking life. It's just one of those ones that's so rewarding to actually deep dive on. So this is absolutely fantastic. And Love in the Past Tense is a fantastic way to close the album out as well. Like this, that really stays with you as a closing track and just, is the perfect way. Like you were saying, it is one of those songs. It's one of those things where it's an open-ended kind of moment where you don't know if that's the end or there could be more. Like it's just perfect. The way they've done that, so intelligent. This is a really cerebral listen, but it's also, like you're saying, it's a gateway record. This is so easy to take in and get into that anyone can listen to this one and probably enjoy it. This is one of the ones that I'm going to really recommend. It's probably going to be in the top 10s at the end of the year. I think it's that fucking good. I gave it 9.5 out of 10. I can't believe I rated it higher than you, but I loved it. Herd Culling, Harridan, and Population 3 are my standouts on this one. So it's funny how we both picked an instrumental to be a standout track. That's how good it is. I don't know how that happens at all. Phenomenal track. But yeah, that's that one. That's our final review. Let's see what comments we've got on this one. Got a couple here. Conrad says, Porcupine Tree can do no wrong. Always, it may as well as brilliant. This is superb. He also says Porcupine Tree's transitions are seamless. Yes, they are.
Yeah. Really
Joshua says, got strong Rush vibes. Here we go again. Got strong Rush vibes on the riffs in Chimera's Wreck. It's an interesting point, actually. I hadn't even thought of that, but that's not bad at all. Rowan says, I will check this one out. And Tough says, what the hell is this? It's like listening to Faith No More, Mr. Bungle with a bit of Soundgarden and some trippy shit. This is a different one. We go anywhere and everywhere, Tough. You know that by now. We listen to anything. So we have some fun. But let us know what you think out there, whether you're tuning in now or later on. We do appreciate you taking the time to sit with us and take in our antics for an evening. We've had some fun with this one tonight, which is always good. But a big shout out to some special Patreon supporters here in TC, Sonia, Lee, Bell, Conrad, Jason, Brendan, 16x9, Marty, Sam, Trash, Carolyn, Gwyneth, Andrew, Daniel, and the Mann family as well. Thank you all so much for your support via our Patreon page. I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to help us out, the details for that are in the description box. Just check it out. Anything you can do to help us out would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Here we go. Jeff says, as soon as this one ends, or as soon as we end here, I'm putting on the noise-cancelling headphones and putting the album on. Do it. It is fucking worth it. Yeah, definitely. And that's all we can ask for. Do that. It's brilliant. But yeah. Make sure you check us out on TV as well. We are on Thursday night, so it's Thursday. It's doubleheader at 10:30 p.m. local time in Adelaide on Channel 44. And then Saturday nights in Melbourne, 10:30 p.m. Channel 31. You can tune into both of those things via ctvplus.org.au. So please do tune in, check those out whenever you get a chance to on the TV screen. We're back next week, Thursday night, for another stream. And we're trying to get some deep cuts with the Armored Saint happening very, very soon as well. So that's coming up very, very shortly. We got a whole lot of stuff. Then we're going to do Beatles versus Stones, and after that will be King of the Riff, which will be albums of the last decade. There's a lot going on now, so we're getting right into the swing of things on the other side of the coin too. Heaps going on. Next week we'll be covering what have we got here? So we're going to do Faith No More will be the classic album, and Flickertail will be the Aussie release. We'll get to Acolyte the week after. But that's what's coming up next week, apart from, I don't know, we'll see what we feel like reviewing after tomorrow rolls around. But yeah, there's heaps going on as always. There's plenty to do. So just make sure you keep following us and interact whenever you can. Follow us. All of our details are in the description box. So like, follow, subscribe, share, 5-star review, all the usual shit that everyone says to do. We're no different. Helps us out. The more you interact with us and get involved in the online stuff, the more it helps us with the organic reach side of things. So just follow us and engage. And a big thank you, of course, to our fantastic sponsors in Squidding, Scrimping, Alt, Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Their details, just like ours, are in the description box. So find them, give them a like, a follow, a share, all that sort of stuff. Greatly, greatly appreciated by all of us and them as well. I think that's about it. Is there anything else you wanted to add there, Dave? Or are we just going to sort of...
I think I've seen enough tonight.
Yeah, you've done your bit. What do we got here? So Vinny says we should get some sushi. Carol says... Sushi Carol, he says, with his noise-cancelling headphones. And Rowan says, Angel Dust. Well, I can tell you which one it is. Pretty sure it is that one, actually. Give me a moment. Yes, it is Angel Dust. So there we go. Finally get Rowan's choice. He's been campaigning for that one over in our Patreon choice for a while now. So we're finally going to get to do that one. And we're going to do that one next Thursday for you. So there you go. But let's get to our bins here, Dave, and then we'll get out of here. So, Dave, what are you putting in the bin tonight, this week? What is yours?
Yeah. Getting halfway through a job and realizing you don't have the right tool. One of those, fuck moments.
Yep.
Never fun. It always happens when you least want it, when you're strapped for time. It's just like, fuck.
Yep.
So, straight in the bin.
Definitely. It is a moment. Mine's actually going to give a bit of a shout out to Chris Marek for this one, but I'm going to use it. It's gatekeeping, and I'm a bit tired of it, to be honest. It's like when it comes to TV shows or whatever else, how they have a resurgence for an artist. So, for example, Dio got a kick out of that commercial a few years ago, but also Dio is getting a bit of a kick out of Stranger Things at the moment. Twisted Sister got a kick out of Cobra Kai, all these kind of things. And there are people that, just because you were with a band at the very, very start, right, doesn't give you the right, I guess, for lack of a better term here, to sort of decide who can and can't be a fan of a particular song or a band or whatever else have you. Just knock it off. It's really not required. I would rather have as many of us as possible enjoying I don't care actually what music you're into. Just enjoy it, and don't stop other people from enjoying it either, or make them feel bad because they weren't there at a particular time in their life. People find things at different points of their lives. Gatekeeping is doing more harm than good, and I would think that the point of music is to share it and to celebrate it, not to sort of hold it onto your own, because you didn't create it. You did not create it. So shut up. Basically, if you're going to gatekeep, get in the bin. It's fucking pointless. Just don't do it. Let's all enjoy. Look, we all love our rock and metal, but whatever you do and you enjoy it, feel free to share it. And people, please celebrate other people finding joy in life. For fuck's sake, don't try and gatekeep what makes people fucking happy. Fucking stupid. So in the bin. No gatekeeping. Fuck it off. I've had enough.
I love people discovering music I like.
So do I.
That's fucking great.
These gatekeepers, I want to know how they rationalize it when it comes to their kids. Because the kids sure as shit weren't there when they found it. So how do they sort of, do you know what I mean? You gatekeep online, but you won't gatekeep to your kids. What's the fucking difference?
Exactly.
No logic to it. Anyway, I can't. It drives me nuts. And because when you have an open conversation, they might show you something that you didn't know and you might like. It's a two-way street. Like the amount of shit that we get sent. Oh yeah, fuck. If we wanted to be just anal about shit, we'd never fucking listen to half the shit we listen to. It's just stupid. I just don't get it. But anyway, people do it. Don't know why. But anyway, on a more fun note, Rowan says first letters in the bin. We will have fun with that one. Tuff says bin Disney and wrecking all my childhood favorite movies with their woke dumbass bullshit. Not sure in particular what that's about, but okay, fair enough. Well, here we go. Yes, Andrew Marshall, the USA Supreme Court in the bin. Yes, I've been to the United States recently for very good reasons. Oh, here we go. Tufts is saying Kenobi is the final nail in the Star Wars franchise. I haven't seen it. I don't want any spoilers. I will watch it when I can get a chance to. Vinny says gatekeepers can rank off. There we go. Tuff says rename your show the Gatekeepers Secret or Sect. I don't know. But Tuff also says love all metal. It is needed in today's world. Definitely it is. Whatever gets you through, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you smile, share it, enjoy it, and let people enjoy it their own way as well. But I think that's it for us now. For now, you reckon we're done, Dave?
I think we're done.
Alrighty. Thank you all so much. Make sure you keep up to date with us and we're back again very, 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 very soon as always. Until next time though, I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
As always,
drink up.
Rock on.
Stick a cannonball, you know where.